All right. And this is another episode of the Expresslane Podcast.
With Kevin Stan, what's going on? And this is a special episode because this will be our first video episode. So, first video, episode 21, and bringing back our first guest for the first audio guest, first video guest. Neyo, what's going on?
What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling today? Thanks for having me back.
No problem. You're doing us a favor. Thanks for coming back.
Did us a favor for the first one, doing another one for the 21st episode.
Plus,
and the first video.
We had some uggos on, so we need somebody handsome. So thanks.
We have egos on every time.
Yeah, well, the two of us are here, so
Yeah.
It's not like we need somebody that's going to be handsome on video.
Thanks for coming out.
No problem.
Who made your shirt?
I just picked it up at Springfield Mall.
Oh, I thought it was your sister's friend. She's always doing shirts. You can't shout her out?
Yeah, I can shout her out.
But is that your sister's friend's shirt?
No, it's not.
So you're shouting her out for her shirt. What are you doing, man?
I bought it from Springfield Mall though. Because I went to like an 80s, 90s party, and I went to the sales rack and I seen like a lot of like shirts like this for like $4, $5. So I racked up for the summer. Grabbed like 10 of them.
Good move. And so 80s, 90s party. What's the thing? Is it like lots of leg warmers, like sideway, like ponytails on the side of the head? Like what are we talking?
Tights, Adidas sweats. I tried to go. What was it? Rugrats, I think.
Okay.
Or no. Looney Tunes.
Pants.
Was that 80s, 90s?
Yeah.
I had an 80s, 90s. I had like a little
earlier. It's
they're the two different versions of the Looney Tunes.
Yeah, they said I messed up.
Wasn't on target?
Yeah, I bombed. So.
You're catching shit for, at least you try. I've been to parties like that where people show up in like stuff I'm wearing now. Like I would have wore this in the 90s. Like,
I thought I was the best dressed, and it was like not what we was looking for. It's cool though.
Yeah. So what's been going on with you?
Right now I just been, chilling, just working, family. Me and my sister, we had a little falling out.
What?
Oh no.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, we had a falling out, but we cool now, but it just changed like
over the gym or just like personal stuff?
Well, I think it was all everything.
A little bit of everything.
Yes. When you let a lot of stuff, like when you don't speak on a lot of stuff, when one thing happened, everything just,
Yeah, I've been there. I'm not a very good communicator, so it's like once
terrible.
that straw that breaks the camel's back, it's like fuck. I'm dealing with all that other stuff that I just let go. So
right, and they say that my wife always say you gotta work on that because it's like you might not say nothing then, but when you do actually say something, it's like you hit me with everything that you was thinking, but you just didn't say it.
That's the shit. Like when I'm with the wife, of course, like just this thing's bothering me, you let it go, and then one day you're just like something pisses you off and you're like, and by the way, I'm fucking sick of this other shit too.
And
so yeah,
and for me, a lot of times like nothing bothers me that bad, but then it's like when the one thing that bothers me, it's like all the little shit that I let go, it's like, but like I could nail whoever it is, like be like my brother sometimes, like all that fucking McDonald's I got you 15 years ago, and like I didn't have $5, but I got it for you. It's
like all these things that I could have caused a problem right then and there with, I let slide.
Mm-hmm.
But now, since you're pissing me off, I gotta bring them back.
I'm gonna bring, because it's like it's like we put them like I don't really have to speak on it right now, but it's there. I'm gonna just hold it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's the things we always accuse women of, but it's like
I mean, it's everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we cool, but I just.
All right, should I stop liking all her posts or what?
No. That's what, and that's the messed up part about it because that's my sister. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, but everybody know that like gym rats was both of ours, and it's like they like, should I like being as though we like kind of split? They like, where should I go? Like,
yeah, because that's the thing. Like, so I've never met her, but I, kind of have like a mutual respect because if she's your sister and she's business partner and all that stuff, I'm like, I follow all her shit, like all her shit. And plus, she puts out good content.
Yeah,
Her and her girlfriend, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, they married now.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
So I
They
better
got
stop
married
looking
and
so
shit.
hard.
Yeah, I mean, she say, "Look, but don't touch, man." But yeah, like, so we had, you know, a lot of people was like, "Dang, should I come this way? Should I go that way?" And I'm like, "You could still like, that's my sister."
That's
like,
the thing with siblings. Like, all right, it's
know what
not
I'm
like
saying?
a ex-girlfriend and ex-boyfriend. Like, you got to
Right,
choose sides.
exactly.
They'll get back together sooner or later. Like,
Yeah.
they'll be at a Christmas party. They'll make up, whatever.
And plus, it's like a family business, so I prefer. But my sister, she got mad because I kind of pivoted. I started training at somebody else's gym,
Oh, shit.
and she took that kind of hard. You know what I mean? We had a heart to heart.
So you split right now? I think that's
Well,
just
now I feel like I just had to, cause I've been training for years. So I don't know. I was like, should I keep doing it? And then when I did my own little thing, it's like, do I really want to? Because like the people is showing, like when you got a team, it's different. But when you by yourself, it's like you really gotta have to like actually stay on them, especially when they not. You know what I mean?
Talking about like one-on-one interactions with clients.
Yeah, I had one-on-one interactions, but at the end of the day, they wasn't calling me.
you
know
were
what I
just
mean?
going in to do the
Yeah, I
training.
was
Like
work
you
training.
were now you got a schedule, you got to like
Bang.
do
And I don't
accounting, all the everything.
and go through people like flaking out, like
Mhm.
wasting my time. You know what I'm saying? Before I could just go right downstairs. Now it's like I'm driving all the way over here, or people like they agree to 3 days and then they only do 1 day. So it's like the money. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's just a lot.
Well, that's what probably the hardest part about owning a gym is. Like, first you got to keep the retention and also be constantly recruiting new people.
And it just realized like I got into it like to help my sister in the beginning. That's what I got into it for. And now it's like I'm not even really trying to do it. I'm not really trying. I just want to focus on me and try to build in different ways. Like, of course, I'm still going to make. I'm not going to make as much because I'm not, you know what I mean, fully into it. I'm not an employee working there anymore, but I'm still going to get my parts. you know?
So now you're doing it on your own. Are you still doing it as Gym Rats, or you have your own like
Nah,
brand?
Well, I did like boxing and trap with Neyo, to where it's just like it's not as one-on-one. Like it's group training. Like come, we gonna box, we gonna have fun, and then it's gonna y'all go ahead because we don't have to like. I don't have to keep tracks. I don't have to be like, are you eating right? I don't have to do that. You could just.
It's not
if
so
you wanna
structured.
Come, yeah, if you come in to get a workout, you could come work out and go home. You could do whatever you want after this. That's way better for me because I don't have to like instead of focusing, I could focus on myself and still come give a good workout and people not expect me to be like to be on them. Like they be wanting you to be like, don't eat that donut popping up everywhere. Don't eat this. Don't
And I
do
feel
that.
like that's what your sister's good at. That shit.
That's her. I'm
Yeah.
not judgy like that.
Yeah.
Like, I was the soft. I'm like I was known as the soft trainer.
You're just like, do your thing. But when you're here, like, here's what we're
we're
doing.
gonna work. But
But
afterwards,
you should do this outside of the workout, but
I'm
I
gonna
can't.
tell you all the right stuff, but I don't care if you do it or not.
Yeah.
It's not being mean, but it's like I gotta worry about other stuff when I go. Like I can't do that. My sister, she way more passionate on that. Like she don't mind doing that.
Yeah, I see that.
That's where we work good. Like I don't mind getting up and training. I get up at 6 a.m. and do it because I always had workouts in my head. But as far as like running the whole shop, nah. I just wanted to be an entrepreneur. I started up, you know what I'm saying, and then watch it grow.
All right,
Like
well,
that.
we're gonna have to get her on for her side of the story.
Yeah.
No, you could.
And I'm just seeing, now you split it, but now you can bring it back in. Now you keep your group training. She's got her stuff where you get the more personal one-on-one.
Exactly.
Gym Rat's got a new wing. Look at that. Now everybody's making a little more money.
Right. Bam.
What else is going on?
Well,
Is your mom still cleaning up the streets?
Well, she's registered her will now in Philly, so
Mm-hmm.
she doing her thing. So that's all I can say, really.
All right.
You know what I mean? She, I don't know. She doing good though.
All right. Good.
Good.
What else you got? Were you gonna say something when I cut you off?
No, I just
Oh yeah, but I am trying to do something different. Like I got sophisticated ignorance. You know what I mean? I try.
That's your own brand.
Yeah, it's like it was clothing too, but I wanted to do more visual. So, I started it. I got it on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok.
What are you doing on it?
Yeah, like visual, like NFTs, or what are we talking here?
No, like just videos of like I wanted to be like a network, like you know what I'm saying. I could do podcasts, short film, but just a network overall. So I wanted to get a team together. But as long as I build the brand, I don't think it's gonna be too hard. Cause I like with me, I felt like I wanted to do recording videos, editing. Then when I realized like how much actual like
time and work,
like I'd rather just build a team together and be like, all right, we want to shoot this, you shoot that, we pay the editing team, and then we put it out like that.
You want to do the fun part, like
I mean, I could put it
art part.
I could organize it.
Director.
Yeah, I could direct it.
Yeah.
I could organize it, get everybody there. But
you've got the vision.
Editing, when it come to actually editing, you gotta really want to do that.
Yeah. No, when I edit these podcasts, it's like I've got to listen to my voice for another hour, 2 hours, except for slower because I'm fucking editing it. Right.
Imagine and then when you're doing your clips.
Yeah. I mean, I'm about to find that out.
Yeah. Once you get your flow though, I mean, you'll figure it out. A lot of people do templates, so they don't have to do most of this stuff. They just had a template there, and then they had a video inside of it. But
yeah, and with the technology, I think there's a lot of like the apps. I think the Audacity you're showing me has like, I don't want to say totally idiot proof, but it made it so that I could look at it and go, oh, I understand this.
Yeah, like it's definitely gotten way easier.
And then with the sophisticated ignorance, I just wanted to be like more of free thought, free thinking.
Like open. Like you can go in any direction.
Yeah, like politics, news.
Oh, you don't want to go there.
I mean, like it's just
it's clicks. Clicks are coming in politics.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's just like I just like I don't mean like the day-to-day politics. Me personally, it's just me, a regular human being, thinking like, damn, why do the president gotta be so old?
Dude, that's the kind of shit I would like to talk about, but like that's the perspective that I think we both started with. Like, we're just two regular guys. We work, we're Americans, we're just regular guys. We not crazy extremists, which I feel like the news portrays everyday regular people as everybody's an extremist. Everybody is on the same page, either left or right. That's not true. It's just not true.
Exactly. But that's what I wanted to do because, I know I still won't have full control unless like you got your networks and stuff like that, but at least I can control something. Like as far as the news, like the stuff that they paint, the stuff that they show on the news is like, damn, and you live in the neighborhood, they make it seem like a whole war zone. Like when they out there, I mean, stuff do happen, but the way how they make it seem like you should be scared to walk down the street, walking your dog, let your kids play. Yeah, and it's not like that. So I feel
Fear
like
sells.
So I wanted, like, I really wanted people like to be like actual reporters out there, like, you know what I mean? If something happened, you go out there, you say your part, and then we could put what actually, not what actually happened
on the ground.
Yeah, like, and that's just with anybody, like random people.
Well, see, like me and my buddy's biggest argument is like, so we'll go down to like South Street or something, and it's like, all right. You have to act a certain way. Like, if you're going to be walking down on South Street, everybody's partying, everybody's drinking, crazy shit could happen at any moment. Mm-hmm. You've got to act like you know what the fuck is going on. You can't be fucking sightseeing and just acting weird or like not recognizing your surroundings.
Exactly.
You have a focus. You're just going. You're going to where you got to go. You don't fucking lollygag around there. Right. You don't want to become a target. And he's always arguing like, oh, you act different. Like, no, I act like I don't want any fucking trouble. That's what I act like.
Awareness. It's not like, I don't think it's like you're acting different. You're just like, okay, look, it's different when you walk across the street. You don't just like, oh, here I go, walk over. Like, you stop, you check, like, are cars coming? Like,
well, also just with people, like, you've got to have a certain. If you were in New York City or if you were in Chicago, if you're just in a big city, you got to shoulders up, fucking like, straight ahead. Don't be fucking minding anybody's business. Keep it moving. I feel like that just keeps you on target.
And like you said, being aware, it's not acting different, acting scared. It's just like if I see a commotion over there, I know I already seen that from down the street, so I'm across the street first before we go.
Oh yeah, it's like,
and that's just being aware of it. Like,
or if I see a bunch of motherfuckers like eyeballing people, probably don't go near those guys.
Right.
it's like if you're at the bar, you're getting a drink, and the two dudes at the corner start raising their voices. It's not like, let me just walk over and like set up shop right next to them. Like, obviously something's probably gonna happen, so let me step back, get the drink, watch, and then you're in for a good night.
It's just like in role playing games. My awareness is high. His is fucking low. He's goofy. He's gonna get robbed.
Oh man, so what? You're D&D guy now, and
sometimes, occasionally, I used to be.
Oh shit! See, now I would have never pegged you. Like, you're such like you're
anti everything.
Yeah, you're just like an anti like anything people have fun with. You don't like.
All right, so when I was like 14-ish, my neighbors, they were all in their 20s, like they were just drinking, hanging out, and they had a little group where they got together and they played the like D&D, but it was like they had like these character sheets, but basically everything was in your head. And I thought that was cool as shit. Like, so I'm sitting around, first of all, I'm getting to hang out with older people, which is always cool when you're like that age.
Yeah.
So you're seeing them. They had a couple girls in the group, which was like, holy shit, girls like this? But they were all cool, and they let me hang out, like, and I would just sit there, and like you could imagine the story in your head, and like the dungeon master was like explaining it and going through, and it was cool.
Okay. Shit, it's not like
Vin Diesel likes D&D too.
Yeah, no, but he's cool. But yeah, see, you're like, you're not a jock, but you're like anti-nerd.
No, I'm a little bit of everything. That's why I think I get along with everybody.
I mean, yeah, you think.
Well, yeah, I think I'm a little bit of everything. I'm definitely not a jock because I hate sports, but I've always gotten along with, I guess you could call it jocks, at least for a little while.
Until they find out you don't like sports,
until they
find
out,
stands out of there. He's like, I'm not catching a wedgie for this.
See, the universal thing that I've found with everybody is, like humor, and drinking. Drinking will get like, or just hanging out, like smoking weed for a lot of people. Like you find out, it's funny when you have a friend that smokes weed and like you hang out with their friends and you realize the only reason they all hang out with each other is because they smoke weed.
They got a common interest.
Yeah. So like same thing with drinking. Like being Americans and like everything is about drinking in this country. It's an easy, icebreaker or an easy thing to go do. So I think that brings me around a lot of people, like our, ability to drink.
Yeah.
And you cool though. And you cool, I guess.
Thanks, Neyo. Like I try to be. It's natural.
Like, you're pretty like, I would always say like, for me at least, getting along with people was easy because I'm not going to change who I am to fit who I'm with. It's like, this is who I am. If you guys don't like me being myself, that's I'll get out of here. But if it's not a problem, let's just hang out and have fun.
Because people could tell when it's like people could tell when you're just doing too much to hang, like just to be around. Like they could feel that energy. You know what I mean?
There's also like extreme people, like people that get mad too easy or get like ready to fight, or even though they would never fight, they're easy to go to anger. Like nobody wants to hang out with that. Like we're like all three of us. I feel like have chill like moods of just like go with the flow, hang out. If you don't want to hang out, you go do our own thing. Like I love being by myself and doing nothing. I'm sure you guys love that too.
Yeah, I love it. I just like a good day for me is being able to just be in the house, chill, play some duty.
Yeah. Warzone.
Good food, good eat,
Hit us up, Stan Bear Pig, and what?
Exactly.
What's yours?
Oh, Neo Solo 4.
There you go. Gamer tags, Xbox.
All right. Doc Holliday, 234. Gotta drop it out.
Even though he mostly plays what? Is that game?
Overwatch mostly.
Yeah. On a computer or on Xbox.
Well, it's through it's all Xbox and PC are like the same now. You can run it both from both ways. Microsoft taking over.
Yeah, you could connect because. Well, somebody had a PC, but they still was using like the Xbox controller.
Yeah. He's got that nice ass controller. I'm ready to get one.
Dude, they're worth it. Especially like I don't know if it's just me, but like you break a controller, you got to buy a new one for $60.
Fucking pile of them right there.
Dude, I did it 3 times. That's $180. That's the price of the nice one that doesn't break. So in my mind, it's like, all right.
Oh, it don't break at all.
It's not that it doesn't break at all, but it's it's like the little things where like the joysticks start losing their grip, or like they get all loose, so you can't like it's hard to like walk and aim. Like those ones are you can screw them down. Like there's a lot of like customization to it where you can set it exactly the way you want.
Plus, you probably take care of it. That's $150 investment.
Yeah, but like that you start thinking about it. Like, all right, I'm not gonna just toss this off the couch or something.
Yeah.
Case it. You got a case
know,
for it?
it gives you a nice case, so it's like it's easy to be like, I'm done. Zip, like nobody touched. Don't even look at it.
That's one of the things I miss. Like the new job, I work nights, so we play Warzone like every night with like me and. Well, it's just like so. For instance, with this podcast, it's just like as we get bigger, it's like people from your past are going to start to like hop on. It's like, oh, I fucking know Stan, like, or I know Kev, and it's just like, oh, that dude's totally, well, yeah, it was 15 years ago, it was 20 years ago. I am different, you know.
Right.
No, that's just an overall societal thing. Is you see these things where it's like, oh well, remember when he said this? And like, okay, but that was what 8 years ago. Like, are you the same person you were 8 years ago? No. Like, but why are you explaining? Why are you expecting me to be that same person? And that's just something that gets way overlooked when you talk about all this, you know.
That's the dangerous
stuff going
part,
on.
though. It's like, I'm scared. What did I say back then?
Oh man,
Shit.
You know, you can chalk me up for a Joe Rogan or two.
Look,
like, what was I saying back then? Like, it's crazy if they pull. Like, that's how I feel. Like, you gotta be careful because.
But also, when you were a teenager, what kind of bad shit did you do that you look back on like, damn, that was not only it was dangerous, it was dumb. It was. I wasn't thinking about anybody else because at that age, everything's been given to you at that point. You don't have respect or.
Like if I were 13 with Twitter, I would have been fucking like going off on people. It's like, oh, this is fake. Like this isn't real life. I can say whatever I want. Nobody knows.
That's why we kind of dodged that. We kind of dodged that bullet at Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah.
Facebook.
Like not having it, but like not knowing what it was, and then kind of like growing up with the thing to be like, okay. I think a lot of people our age realize that it's not so healthy to spend all that amount of time on social media where you get these younger kids coming up where they only know the world of social media.
Well, it's like, so I definitely deactivated my old Facebook, like, from the beginning of just thinking about the shit I said, like, just, you almost can see it in people that put all their business out on, like, the internet, like Twitter or whatever. Like they say things that if they were in person, they'd probably be able to explain them to you. But in that word form, it looks like you're just a bad person.
Well, there's when you see it written down, there's usually no context, and no inflection. And it's like something like growing up. One thing my mom like always sticks with me is it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Right.
And that I've kind of gotten away with by saying some ridiculous things, but making it funny to be like, how do people laugh at some of the shit you say? But it's like, oh, it's not what I said, it's how I said it. Yeah. And that's when you read something in text, all of that goes away.
That's what I was about to say. Like, that's even with text messengers. Like, you could text something, and it seemed like even when I read certain stuff, I'm like, damn, I gotta call them. And make
I think I'm the last person in the world that prefers to call people instead of text conversation, too. Especially because it's a call that's going to take 2 minutes. But now we're texting for 3 days because I don't respond, and then Stan doesn't hit me back. And now it's like something I could have figured out on Monday. It's Thursday, and it's like, all right, finally, now I can go get this thing.
Yeah. And also, like, with our personalities, like, our sarcasm does not fucking translate. So when you reread it, you're like, damn, it sounds like I'm really hating on this person. Like, no, it's just, like, it was a funny joke. Well, my wife will tell you I'm a dick. But... You know, just like, so going back through those old Facebook posts or whatever, and it's just like, I'm saying statements of like a young person that doesn't really know anything, but I'm putting it out there to the world, which I don't think we really realized when we were at, like, in the beginning of this. Like, the world can see it. Anybody can see it. They can dissect it. There's no context. You know, so I just went in there, deactivated, and now I don't post anything.
Watch out though.
Good. They pop up 7 years, like 7 years ago, 10 years. You be like, what was I don't even know what I was saying.
Yeah, I was talking about politics. I didn't know jack shit. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
You said you deactivated. Watch out, because one of the things I have, like, I was going to talk about at some point, I'm glad you said it, was I was laying in bed the other night. It's like almost midnight, and that's when I, like, as I'm going to bed, I'll check my email. And I get an email from Facebook that I deleted Facebook like 9 years ago. So I was like, what the fuck is Facebook emailing me for? And it opened it up and says, oh, you've reactivated your account. Thank you. I'm like, no, the fuck I haven't. Like, what the fuck is this? So now it's like, click the link. It takes me right to my old Facebook page with like the shit that I said 9 years ago.
So
like
it's
right
real?
there. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know who did it or how it happened, but it's like now it's like I spent like at midnight almost an hour because they bury the links to deactivate it so far in the like you got to go through 7 different pop-up menus to find deactivate.
That's even like with the subscriptions, like
Oh yeah, they fuck
dude.
you.
It was fucking wild. And then it's like as I'm going, finally find the like, all right, click deactivate. Yes, I want to deactivate. Are you sure? Yes, deactivate. Yes, finally. Okay. If you put your email in, we'll reactivate it for you as soon as you want. It's like, no, I don't want that option. I just let it be gone forever.
See, so that might be an automatic like thing they got rolling through to check like maybe there's something going on where they're like, all right, we'll reactivate everybody that got rid of it in 2009, and if they don't deactivate it, we'll just keep it up, and that way it shows a new user or whatever stats.
I have no idea. I just remember sitting there going like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Facebook. What y'all think about like the Meta Facebook?
Pretty creepy. I mean, first of all, I think we can all say maybe the guy's great, maybe he's awesome, but he looks creepy. That video of him drinking water when he was at the Senate hearing makes him seem not like a real person. And he's been rich for so long. Like rich people definitely lose touch with regular people. That's without a doubt. So he probably doesn't even feel like a regular person. He probably couldn't understand what regular people live day-to-day life.
And it's all about money. Like it's not like he actually cares what we like is how.
Is it about money at that point though?
I think Facebook like he Zuckerberg, what is it? Zuckerberg?
Yeah,
yeah, whatever. Mark, a fucking asshole from the Facebook movie.
Didn't see it, but he wasn't portrayed good in that, right?
Nah, he's a dick.
All right.
But like he doesn't care about our user experience. Like he doesn't care how this thing affects us. He cares about really what it is mining data from us to sell to advertising companies. It's all about money with
the government.
Well,
or governments.
Well, they're paying him. That's what he cares about is the money. He doesn't care if who's paying. If you're going to pay a premium, here's the information.
But like, let's think about that for a start. Like, all right, so the dude creates a business. It's great. He's sucking up data. He's selling the data. Don't you think, just like we say, like every Chinese business has the government involved in it, don't you think probably, like realistically, maybe not nefariously, but don't you think every big business that has such a hold on everyday regular people's data, don't you think they send in a guy at some point and they're like, hey, maybe they don't strong arm you like China, but we need to be a business partner and we need to take some kind of control? I believe that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I
feel like the government already took control of Facebook.
Yeah, definitely, right? Like, it's not a conspiracy. That's not crazy,
like,
right?
I wouldn't say take control, but I would say give me the information you have and here's the money. Like I think it's all transactional.
Yeah, but
and
if
the
there
government is just like, we want what you have and we're willing to pay for it.
Yeah, but at some point, if he was just like, I don't think that's a really good deal, and it's like, here's the deal. There's no saying no to this deal.
What you gonna say? You can't tell them no. But
it's like Apple did with like the husband and wife, like the terrorist thing a couple years ago, like they shot up a mosque or a synagogue or something over in California, and the FBI they went to Apple to be like, yo, we have their phones, but we can't unlock them, and Apple was like, no, we're not giving you a backdoor into Apple phones.
I mean, they had the legal. They had a kind of that's a legal right. That was kind of
but I think that's the same thing, which like the big business is saying no.
But that's like lawyer. That's like your lawyer, your doctor. Like that's the same thing, right?
I think that it was probably a scenario of like, all right, this will look really good in the news. You're gonna find somebody that's gonna break it. They got into it like it just took them 2 days instead of 1 or whatever.
Yeah, but
that's a good PR move. I believe.
That's gonna make Apple look good. Like, all right, they is fighting for it.
But like, if it ever comes out, like Facebook's saying no, like we're not giving the information of our users to the government. It's the same.
But let's think
PR
about this
move.
money-wise.
I mean, control-wise, like being able to control what goes on that site. Like if it was like the government wasn't controlling, we'd be able to see like news from Russia, news from.
But I think that's not coming from the government. I think that's coming from the Facebook algorithm of it's like I think it is a not so nefarious thing. It's just that people what they think they want versus what they're actually attracted to online are different things.
Right.
So Facebook is just showing you the stuff that you interact with. So maybe you want more puppy videos, but you're not commenting on puppy videos. You're commenting on, Jim and Lisa arguing over politics. So now it shows you more politics stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of the bigger picture. Like, we all know people are dumb. Whether it's bots controlling all these platforms and making people interact with them. Because it is juicy. It is when you see somebody say something really dumb or whatever, where you're like, oh, I've got the answer to this, and you have a dumb opinion. It is very attractive. I'm talking bigger picture of these companies. If you take Apple, for instance, like their hub is in Ireland because of taxes. They've got they've got more cash than what? Anybody, and it's offshore, and they don't pay taxes on it. Now, do I think that's Apple? Partly, but no business can become a huge business like that without a government or the people, because the government is people, and they have ties with the people that make our laws. There's a reason that there's never like a law that comes out where it's like, you know what, maybe we shouldn't tax people under $150,000 for their overtime. That'd be a great law, because that would give regular people all their money that they've earned overtime. You wouldn't see any politician going for that.
Right.
And if they did, they'd never win. Or it's like
not even a politician, a person that's got the money in their pockets.
Yeah, I mean, they're already rich.
Like, that's the 1%, like the 1% of who control.
And that's another thing. That's like a great narrative of the 1%, because it's so easy to be like, oh, the 1%, the 1%. Who are they? It's a conglomeration of powerful families and people. You wonder why you see the same names over and over and over. How can we live in a democracy where that's the biggest thing we say, like, we get to choose our elected officials? How did a son become a president? Like, so you got Bush Sr. and then you got Bush Jr. It's like, he obviously wasn't the smartest candidate, and people fucking hated him during the Iraq War. I like vividly remember that. Everybody fucking hated the dude.
Even with the JFK story, like about the dad, you know what I mean? They were saying like
Ted Cruz's dad.
No, like JFK dad. Like they were saying he was like in the mix, like selling alcohol, the Prohibition era.
That's how they made their fortune, and selling steel to China.
And they said he already made backdoor deals to even put his kid.
Yeah, he was with the mob.
Yeah, so it's like that goes to show you right there that.
It was a long time ago, but it wasn't that long time ago. Because they still won't release the records of him getting killed. So some of those people are still alive.
Mm-hmm.
There's no clean politicians out there. And if they are, give them a couple of years in politics. They're not going to be clean after that. Like, you see any of these.
There's no clean.
And that's why you need Mossad agents out there.
Oh, here we go.
Having them fuck underage girls.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jeffrey Epstein. All right.
There you go. Didn't kill himself.
How could he? How could you do that?
How do you get free reign?
They said he was on suicide watch.
Yeah,
so it's like,
come on, the guards needed a break. Sometimes you got to take a nap.
And those video cameras been broke for months. It's the state, you don't get around to fixing stuff.
Every Tuesday at 6:00, like they short out. They know that.
No, it's just crazy.
No, but when they got you on suicide watch, like you
don't have shit.
You strapped in. You got something over your face, like
you got that bodysuit over top of you.
How they say he died though? Damn.
Hung himself with a bed sheet or some shit.
See.
But I mean, so we make light. That's one of the cool things about America. I think that we can make a piece of art, like even if it wasn't that great of a movie, that Tom Cruise movie about him running drugs to the cartels, and then they put that
American Made.
Yeah, and they put that piece in there of like Clinton making the phone call to let him out of jail. Like, it was an obvious, like, he's in Arkansas. That's where they fucking, like, killed those 2 kids on the train tracks. And said it was a train accident because they were dropping giant loads of fucking cocaine coming from South America. They made light of basically Bill Clinton being corrupt in Arkansas as just a senator or whatever. And then the future of him becoming president. And he seems like a pretty fucking fun dude. For the most part, like, he's just trying to fuck chicks and, do drugs, which is awesome. But from Arkansas, he becomes president of the United States. Like, and we made light of how, oh, it's so funny and crazy how this huge controversy at the time of probably thousands, hundreds of thousands of people getting killed from the drug trade. And like, oh, whoopsie daisy, he's a president. And oh, he got a bunch of chicks to blow him. Like, it's so funny.
See, we messed up because, like, even though, like, hold up, you said with the drugs and the train situation, that was him? He was involved in that?
That was his state. He was the senator. How much he was involved in letting planes fly over his state and drop loads of cocaine, right. Who knows? Did he have any involvement?
And then
who knows?
And then he was like one of the main people for like the war on drugs and stuff like that.
Well, that is the funniest kind of thing in our country where we've got all these people. It's always the guy who's about like, man, these gays are going to burn in hell. It's gross. It should never be a thing. And then you come to find out they're fucking dudes in a hotel doing meth. Like, right. It's always the person that's the loudest against something that is probably doing it on the side. Mm-hmm. It's always Republicans, or it used to be Republicans against drugs, and then you find out they're smoking crack in a hotel room, or they're doing this, or their kids are drug addicts, you know.
Politicians need to unwind too, man.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're making laws that are affecting hundreds of thousands of people, you know. And we can say like the majority of black people like getting arrested and going to jail, right. Ruining people's lives.
And that's the messed up part because now Biden is president now, so it's like I'd be like I'd be mad because like a lot of stuff like that we learned to be Democrats is like me actually hearing the stories and like kind of doing my research is like, damn, why? It's like, why?
But also, we have videos of the same man, like making laws, or at least advocating for laws where he's like, lock these motherfuckers up. We don't want them around us. Mm-hmm. And then 20 years later, however long later,
vote for me, you ain't black.
Like, that is crazy to me. And like we said in the beginning of this, people can change, but we can look at his history of 40 years in the like administrations. He's pretty much been the same person. He's bought and paid for. He's a fake facade of a person.
But you know how they got.
But people can change. You said yourself. You know, maybe this one's real.
They can, but
it's
when he gives up all his money, and he's fucking old. I mean, what are you gonna do, dude?
Yeah, I'd be sick because it's like, damn, that's one thing I was like, why do the presidents gotta be so old? Then it was like, even learning the history, like, because when we was coming up as kids, it's like we know, like they made us believe. They told us Lincoln freed the slaves, and I'm just recently reading like he's freed the slaves, but it was like stipulations, like
south of Mason-Dixon line or whatever.
We're only gonna free the slaves in the states that we going to war with. Everybody else is cool.
And meanwhile, like, didn't he still have slaves and he was fucking the shit out of them?
Right. So it's like,
no,
but
Lincoln didn't.
Yeah,
no?
Lincoln was.
I'm thinking of Jefferson.
No, Lincoln did have slaves though.
Did he? I thought he was like log cabin boy. Like, I thought he was poor as shit for like his
I thought he
life.
fought vampires. Just kidding.
No, that's a great movie though.
It's not good.
Yeah, yes it is. Oh my god, get the fuck out of here.
The
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Like, have you seen it? Like, now I'm not gonna leave this alone.
No, I ain't see that. But
check it out. It's a great movie.
When you was in school, we had to wear those bullshit hats and all that stuff, and they were telling us, like, they taught us that he did that, but it wasn't true. Like, it's like they taught us about Christopher Columbus, but like, it was straight chaos when they came down here. Like,
I have a great story. Like, so my parents, you know,
have a story about Lincoln?
You know, my parents aren't the smartest or the brightest or whatever, but you know, just regular people. And even when we like, I would come home from school and be like, oh, we're learning about this. Like, we're learning about Columbus. Like, even back then, my dad was like, Columbus, that guy fucking killed a shitload of Indians and fucking raped and pillaged. You know, I'm fucking 5th grade, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, Dad, you don't know shit. And then it's like, come 10, 20 years later, it's like, oh yeah, like, that's the true story. Like, I don't know how my dad knew, but like, my dad's always been on top of that, like, shit of like history, like Native Americans, you know, Dancing with Wolves type shit. He was always the trapper that would go on the other side. Mm-hmm. But like, always picking the underdog. But that's the shit he would tell me, and I'd go to school and be like, shit, this guy wasn't that great. And they're force feeding you like, he founded America, he did all this. Like, didn't even land it on the fucking continent. Like,
but why? But why though? Why did they? Why was they telling lies?
History
like
is written by the winner. It's not like you look at the history of the world. It's what we know isn't. I would say at least 50% not what actually happened. It's what the people that, you know, take power and control afterwards say, no, this is what happened. This is what we want you to remember.
And do I think it's nefarious?
No, it's just trying to, like,
No.
if you're going to sit here right now and tell us, like, Stan, give me your life story, are you going to give me all the nitty gritty, the times you're a real dickbag to people, or are you going to kind of gloss over that and then go into, like, oh, but the one time, like, I helped my mom take out the groceries or this, like, you're going to highlight the stuff that makes you look better.
Yeah, but that's for personal gain, though. Like,
but that's
what kind of gain? Who?
But
like, he didn't write. Christopher Columbus didn't write those books. It's
no,
like,
but he was telling the stories, and then that gets passed on to the next people, and then when the books are written, it's all by people that hear from the way Columbus tells it.
True. Well, from I don't know.
Where are you going with that? I like keep following where you're going with that.
Because I just want to know, like, if he didn't write those books, if they know actually what really happened, like, why paint those lies to the new kids that's coming up? Like, what was that to prove? You know
do you think it's boiled down to the easiest way to explain something, or do you think it's nefarious?
No,
like,
because I could even go here. Like, I think it's like, even here, like, with, like, when I was younger, everybody, I'm sure, when we used to watch those Africa commercials, and you seen, like,
the fat lady, Sally Struthers.
No, you see, like, the kids that's starving and shit, like, with
the flies on
you
there.
Like, when I was a kid, me seeing that, I'm like, I'm never going to Africa. Like, why would I do that? But now that I'm older, and you actually meet African people, and they like, no, my country is beautiful, my country is this, my country is that, and it's like, damn, why would they paint? Why are they painting these
Well, I think specifically
pictures?
for that, I think it was to get your money. Like, because they
a money
weren't
grab.
sending it to the fucking kid with flies on his face. They were fucking pocketing, 90% of that dollar?
No, but why was they, like, I'm pretty sure that's a market, that's still a market they could have pushed, was showing us the good stuff in Africa. That's all we knew. So when the Africans started to come over here, it was like,
Did you listen to our last podcast? We had an African on.
Oh no!
All right.
When they start coming down here, it was like African booties, graduates. That's how people used to, like, you know, talk about them, and it was like, it was a little bit of conflict. You know what I'm saying? Even the stuff that when they come down here and they hear about us, like, or the movies that they see, they only going to see, like, you know the state properties, the South Centrals and shit.
Boys in the Hood.
40s,
yeah,
drinking 40s and all that stuff. That's what they seeing. Can you imagine? Like, so that's what caused the divide in that situation. Like, we seeing, like, y'all hungry, y'all dirty. You know what I mean? Y'all don't know how to live. And then when they came here, they like, oh, don't, like, even some lady that I work with, she told me that before she even got here, that they was like, you know what I mean, don't mess with them. They sneaky. Talking about black people in America. Like, I mean, some people is sneaky, but it's like, damn, if somebody painting that in your head, can you imagine coming and you just, like, after seeing the movies?
But why aren't they saying that about white people? White people are sneaky too.
Well, first of all, like, we gotta have.
It's not like it's especially
because we don't really control Hollywood.
Yeah, that's true.
You know
all
what
right,
I'm saying?
look, I already know our next podcast with Neyo is going to be Neyo and Rich. So we just, like, a podcast or two ago, we had my brother's friend. He works with a bunch of Liberians. We brought him in. We're bullshitting. First of all, I asked a lot of dumb questions. Sorry, but I asked a lot of dumb questions. I had a lot of dumb questions. But he said something similar about, like, African Americans. Like, you know, he comes over here and it's like they're definitely different from Africans, which obviously it's how many generations of culturally.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to fucking have you two talk about, you know, because it's fucking weird to have two white guys talk about the differences of African American and Africans. So it'd be cool to have, like, a kind of podcast about just that, like having you two kind of explain your two opinions of each other's before you even met.
I'm smelling spin-off podcasts. Sophisticated
yeah,
Ignorance,
dude.
you and Rich.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hey,
He'd be
shit.
down. He's flashy as shit. Like, you know, like they say I have another dude that I work with, African Bull. He's from Sierra Leone though.
Right.
And like
that's where they from at my job.
When I was telling him about the bull from Liberia, I was like, oh yeah, like they save up all their money to go out and, like, live lavishly and stuff. He's like, that's Liberians. Like, so there's their own little mini cultures over there in that whole culture, which is fucking super interesting.
Think about up here versus people down in, like, Georgia. Like,
well, everybody down south is slow and dumb.
yeah, exactly.
All right, good. We're on the same page.
Well, not dumb though. Come
No,
on.
not dumb.
But they
Just
do
slow.
say that's what they say though, slow. Because when they talk slower, because a lot of people from down south they be saying like people because they talk slow, they automatically count them out as.
And that's not even just a down south thing. That's like a rural thing.
Yeah, it's a
'Cause you,
population thing.
See people from Philadelphia, New York, Chicago. It's like they'll talk a mile a minute, and like we got to get stuff done. We got to go. But then you like people out past Harrisburg in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, or like Iowa, like just the middle of nowhere. It's like, oh man, it's fine. Like we're not in a rush. Like we can get to that.
Yeah.
And
When I go to New York,
what it's
when I go to New York and I be like, I'm from Philly, they be like, what? You sound like you from the country or something like.
Different speeds of talk for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that'd be interesting, dude, to have that different opinion.
Oh yeah, that's good. I'm with it. You know what I mean? Let me know.
Damn, that was a fucking good run.
But I just was saying, like, you know what I mean? We don't really have control over Hollywood. You know what I'm saying?
Who does have control over Hollywood?
Who fired? Who suspended Whoopi?
Dude, Whoopi has fucking dumbass opinions. Like, the more and more first of all, let me just say, not just Whoopi. That whole show is just filled with dumbass fucking opinions.
And well,
it's emo opinions, emo.
And you're wearing Tim Dillon sweatshirt.
Fake business, bro.
But he said it the best. He's like, it's 11 a.m. Why is the Holocaust even a topic? Like people are trying to start their day.
It's just a hot button issue where you can say something crazy and you'll get a sound bite. She probably didn't even think it all the way through. Like, I would assume they're out there spitballing just like us, except for they're so fucking detached from reality that the shit they say makes sense to them. Like, that other chick, is it Joy Behar or whoever the fuck else is on that show? Just insanely dumb, out of touch opinions where it's just like, you don't know anybody real, do you? Like, you don't know anybody that works for a living except for your assistants, which you treat like, you know, assistants.
Garbage,
yeah.
And like they get like that's what I was saying. Like I don't know, they were saying because they be talking for so long all day.
Yeah.
I could see where she.
I can see where you get crazy and you say a crazy thing, and also I would imagine that it's also encouraged. Like, don't cross the line, but get right there so we can get ratings, I guess, from other housewives. Like, who the fuck's watching this shit?
Because it was easy. It was easy when they had a target. They had when they had somebody to target.
Yeah, like
day.
that blonde shade. Like what do they got? Like one Republican with 5 Democrats or whatever you want, whatever extremist side you want to put them on there.
What was her name? Megan.
I don't know. Is that the chick
Megan
Tim
McCain?
Dillon was making fun of?
Yeah.
He said we both on a Flagrant 2. He said we both have bovine. Hold on.
Go on, get it out.
Oh, Flagrant shots.
Yeah. We both have bovine appearances. I thought that was fucking hilarious.
I can tell.
Oh man, can I get another beer?
Yeah.
Please.
I gotta move though. Huh?
That's fine.
Okay, yeah, you don't have to move, so it's fine.
Totally fine. Grab
What
me a
what y'all
monkey.
think about
or,
that?
Angry Orchards.
With a hard lick.
You want some? I got some Jack Daniels. You like that?
Yeah, I take a shot.
All right, I'll go grab it. We can pause it right here.
All right, we're back.
And we're back.
A little bathroom break. Take a shot. Just a little JD there. Nobody's got nothing to do on Saturday
You good?
afternoon.
You want to move that back to you? All right, there we go.
Oh shit.
That Jack.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Shit. All right. Want to do a shot of Jack? We can
Jack,
do it.
It's worth going down to like the distillery to go check them out. It was cool, just to see like it's up like it's not mountains, but it's like hills, and it's like carved into the side of the hills, like with this little stream that comes through everything. Like you can tell that it's like, oh, this looks almost exactly the same as it did in like 1790 when they built the place or whatever. Like it's pretty wild.
Is it? They updated a little, or is it still?
Yeah, like they got modern stuff, but you can see like when you're going through the property and like they have like the one big warehouse with all these like 1,000, 2,000 barrels of whiskey that's aging. Like it's just up on the hill, and you're like, oh shit, like this thing's been here for a fucking long time.
That's crazy to me. Like when they age the liquor or the alcohol and stuff, when they age it, you know how they be like, we got bottles from. Like, how do they keep all, like, do they make a certain amount and just, they got that much space to just make, like, thousands?
Warehouse is full.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like, I think the Jack Daniels, like the old number 7, like the regular Jack Daniels is it's aged for I think 6 or 7 years.
Lucky number 7, right?
Yeah,
so it should be 7 years, right?
Oh, all right.
But
so it's
well,
aged for
see,
7.
there's actually like it's lucky number 7 because it's aged for 7 years, or it's because it was Jack Daniel's favorite number, or they said that the first time that he made whiskey and like took it to a competition, he was on the 7 train, and that's why it's number so like there's all these different myths about why, and nobody knows the actual real name. But it was interesting to go down and like see the whole thing.
Well, it was interesting when we interviewed your friend, the head brewmaster,
Ben,
at 2nd District. So we did one of those, and he was pretty knowledgeable about making all that shit.
Oh, dude, he went off in like our like hockey group chat. Somebody asked him about the differences of like, oh, I heard there's like if you drink an IPA, you get this kind of drunk, or you drink a stout, you get this drunk, or like if you drink wine, you get a different like the different types of drunk that come from the different alcohols. Mm-hmm. Dude, he went on like a 10 text thing that was all crazy. I was like, I hit a TLDR, like I'm not reading that. Like somebody give me the Cliff Notes.
Like I just get drunk.
Yeah.
Right. But it is different feels,
but he's like
though.
super not exactly, and he was like breaking it down. Like at least that's what they said. I didn't read the whole thing, but they like there's like broke it down into like why these things affect you different. I was like, God damn.
Yeah, because I think red wine that make you like tired. If you ask me.
Well, that's not what everybody like. I had a glass of red wine last night to go to sleep or some shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, stuff like that. It's like Jaeger makes me like want to black out. But that's
a lot of Jaeger makes me want to black out.
Well, that's usually because I'm drinking Jaeger with Red Bull. But
and that's the thing. When I drink beer, I can't really drink it that because I get full off of one beer. My stomach be full. Like that's why I can't drink beer.
I've definitely switched more to like if I'm drinking like a lot, it's like I'll drink liquor because the same thing. Like beer starts filling me up now, but drinking liquor, I'm guaranteed to get way drunker.
Yeah, you're gonna get more.
Yeah,
more spilled.
Yes, indeed.
Okay,
that's pretty much what it. Like when I actually watched it, it was when Michael Phelps, and that's because they said he smoked.
The man,
like, okay.
Yeah,
he smoked and he's swimming like that. Okay,
dude. All right, so on that point of like, yeah, of course I know about the famous people, but how did he not go right into making his own weed strain or like making his own bongs? Like,
because he was trying to get away from like that. All came out.
He should have accepted it and fucking rode that shit into the fucking.
It came out that he like was smoking out of that bong and he was like, oh, just like one time and I don't really do it. Like he totally like denied and then won like 4 more gold medals.
Yeah,
I think he had to do that though because they was
of course, but god damn, man,
for the kids, you know.
Yeah, right.
We can't have you in the weedy boxes smoking with the weed, fucking with the weeds.
But I think it stems from it's an exemplified every 4-year sports fan mentality of like, I've never heard you talk about skiing or any of the bullshit that's in these Olympics till right now. Because you're an expert on all this shit or how you would do a better job.
Number one, you're starting to sound anti-American, so stop. I'm just cut you off right there.
First of all, we're all doping.
USA is best. Yeah, nobody cares about the steroids, Stan.
Yeah, but it's just the people thinking that they know about things that and talking about things that they.
That's my right. That's my freedom of speech. I can be an expert in whatever. Like I can be an expert in ice skating, like ice dancing, as much as I want
for a week out of a 4-year cycle.
4 years, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
That's my God-given right.
That's
Stan.
Sports fans in a nutshell. Just people having dumb opinions about something that they could never do themselves.
I'd much rather hear your dumb opinions about something else.
Oh, I've got dumb opinions, believe me.
So who cares about anybody else's dumb opinions?
No, I guess we all do care about other people's opinions. That's why we're sitting here watching this or listening to this.
Sometimes.
But what we're saying is with the Olympics coming, one of the things I do actually enjoy about the Winter Olympics, because it's one of the only sports that you can watch in the Winter Olympics, at least for me personally, that I can look at and go, dude, I could fucking do that. And that's curling.
All right.
You slide the rock. Like, it's like, I can't ski that fast. I can't play ice hockey that good. Like, I can't, like, do a jump and twist on, like, figure skating. I can slide a rock on some ice. Like, I could figure that. I could get that. Like, give me enough time to train. I can figure that out.
All right.
So
enough.
That's when they be on the skates, right?
No, they're not on the skates. It's like
ice skates.
It's shuffleboard on ice.
It's probably the most boring one. You probably never watched it once in your life.
Dude, and it's really not that. Once you understand, it's not that boring. Like, there's a lot of, like, little stuff in it that gets entertaining.
That's probably the only one that I could get into that I would like to do because it's like shuffleboard.
Okay, so exactly, you would like to do. So I'm thinking about it like.
But they brought breakdancing in the Olympics now.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh shit! Again, but that's one I could never do, so I'm not really that interested in it.
I might watch breakdancing, depending.
I'll watch that
a
booty
little
shaking
boxing.
breakdancing. That one's nice.
But so, sitting there and I started doing the research before I went out and texted anybody, but the hockey guys, the group,
How can we put a team
like,
together?
Not even how to put a team together, but like I can't be the only one that thinks I could do this. So I did research into like where is it and how can you do it to be like, oh, if we get enough people, let's try it. There's Philadelphia Curling Club is down in Paoli.
Yeah, I delivered there.
Yeah.
They got, is it inside like it's a patch of ice?
It's inside. They got 2 lanes of curling.
Shit.
Yeah. So I'm looking at it like, shit, let me try this out.
Go there on your break.
Well, no. It's, if you want to rent it, like you want to rent it out for a group, it's $1,800 for 16 people.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah, you're renting like the whole building. So,
to play on their ice though.
Yeah, dude, it's still expensive as fuck. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm not this interested.
No wonder the Olympics every 4 years. You only get to practice about.
No wonder that parking lot's fucking empty all year round.
Yeah, exactly.
They should have did it like Urban Access. I like that. Did y'all ever go there?
Nah, I refuse.
Mm-mm.
It's embarrassing.
Oh, I haven't been to Urban Access, but I've been to a different like axe throwing place.
For me, it's embarrassing. Like whenever I see a friend
because you
posting
can't
a
throw
picture,
things, you're bad.
I'll set up a piece of fucking wood out here, buy a bunch of axes, and I'll do it myself. I'm not going to a place to throw axes.
True.
Well, but you don't have to do all of that. You can just go throw the axes. Like you take all of that work and just go do the thing.
It's like when I see my buddy's wife posting the paint and sip. That, and they build a little project shelf or something like that. I mean, they must go there once a month, and I was just like, every time I see him in the picture, like, damn, I text him, I'm like, man, I feel for you.
She be taking him too.
Yeah, dude.
Man.
He's like, it's not that bad. I'm like, yeah, she texts, she's right next to you, ain't she?
Dude, it's like, you want to go? No, I'm
like,
good.
I get it if you go with like a bunch of friends and do like,
I get it.
You bring 3 bottles of wine and get fucked up and do it. Like that's a fun like little thing. Don't invite me to go do that arts and crafts bullshit.
This leads back to my hating on everything. Yeah. It's just so easy to hate on. I'm sorry. I can't help it, and I'll never do it.
But the axe throwing is actually fun.
Yeah, I like
Dude, I did it for a buddy's
system, I guess.
Like I did it for a buddy's birthday, and like we rented like it's like bowling. You rent lanes, so it's like we rented 2 lanes for 2 hours. We rolled in with like 2 coolers full of beer and just like hung out throwing axes, getting drunk.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing. You could bring.
BYOB.
You can't do hard liquor though.
You can only bring like
beer. So it's bad for you.
Yeah. Well, I take some shots before I get in there.
There you go. Well, all right. When I get this shit situated, I'm gonna have it's the rundown right now. But when I get that shit set up on the outside of that's still my property. I'll make a fucking axe throwing lane.
That'll be hot.
All right.
That's hot.
Tax money. Tax money this year. Thanks, Biden.
Some Biden bucks gonna make some.
If he makes it to my fucking tax return, we'll see.
So
it's Kamala cash. Who cares?
What's up?
Use Dell or
that one's a Dell. It's just because it was 17 inches and it had I like the numbers keyboard instead of pecking.
Is it good for editing?
It works for Audacity. It was like a $1,200 computer. So if you hit that range, you start getting into good RAM, good all the things you need.
It'll kind of let you do whatever you really want with it.
Because I'm trying to figure out where I was going to get an Apple, but
I was going to pull the trigger. Like, so I'm in Best Buy, and like you got to do all the fucking research, which is such a pain in the ass because first of all, you don't know what any of this shit means. So then you got to go research each fucking thing. Like, what does RAM mean? What does the processor speed mean? So you go through all that process, and then you realize it really is just a monetary number of you're going to hit between $1,000 and fucking $2,000, $3,000 to get something that'll do all the things you need. Apple has the advantage of the no viruses and shit. So I don't use that computer to fucking look at porn. Like I don't fucking.
We got phones. Who's
exactly
going to like the computer?
Exactly.
Anymore?
So I keep that thing pretty clean. I got the protection on it, so I'm fairly good on that part, and I don't go into any links you're not supposed to. But that'd be the point of spending that extra $1,000 on an Apple, I guess. But then you got to buy like all of their stuff.
With it. Yeah.
So I was like, I did the math, and I was like, all right, I'll get a Dell.
My brother had an Apple, and he loved it because it's like it has a lot of like editing stuff built in, like that just comes with the operating system. And as far as he was telling me, it is pretty like user friendly.
Super user friendly. It's just like an iPhone versus an Android. Like you can customize the Android. You can get a bunch of side apps where you can download them, and they'll do the things that are already on the Apple.
But on Apple, it was kind of hard for me to send to certain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So say if you're dealing with somebody with an Android,
they make it difficult.
Stuff, it was so hard.
Yep.
It was like, I can't. Like, I did a photo shoot for some lady, and she had an Android, and I was trying to send her. I had to email it.
Yeah,
you were taking the pictures.
Yeah, I took
a little side hustle. You didn't mention you're doing a little photography.
Oh yeah, I dip and dabble in a lot of lanes. But
that's
yeah,
like our sea green. What's this thing called? Sea green photography.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like with this, you could do a lot of different stuff, and I realized that too. That I wasn't. It was fun, but being a cameraman at parties and stuff, it's like, nah.
You're capturing the moments instead of being in them.
Right. I'm like, I want to have fun too.
Yep. That's why Christian's good at that shit, because he's not a good partier. He's a better picture taker.
Well, and like I think I could do a pretty good job of like being a photographer. Like, hey, photograph my wedding. If it's like some random ass person that I don't know, don't care about, like, all right, yeah, I'll be here to take pictures. But if it's like you're like, can you take pictures at my wedding? Like, no, dude. Like, I want to like.
I'm doing the shots, dude.
Like, I'm getting drunk.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what my mother-in-law, she wanted me to do that. They renewed their vows. I'm like, I should have never agreed.
Oh, my
they
family's
renewed their
here.
vows. I should have never agreed to do the pictures because it's like I'm trying to have fun. I want to be in some pictures.
They're having a great time, and you're supposed to be on the outside looking in.
Yeah, like nah.
Hey, do you remember when we had that dance circle? Yeah, I took all the pictures, man. Like
that's when you subcontract that shit out.
Like, where were you? But weddings is scary though because you gotta be really on point.
It's somebody's most important day for sure.
Yeah. They'll get you for that. So you.
Yeah, my wife watched that shitty fucking show, Bridezilla or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Fucking stupid show.
I'll stick to taking pictures of stars and trees and shit. Can't fuck up that moment.
Bugs.
Yeah, you and your bugs.
I haven't taken a good bug picture in a while. They used to just pop up all the time. Now it's like
they running.
You clean your house.
Well, not only that, not out on the road anymore. It's cold.
You would do that on the road. You'd be like walking, stop, like, oh my god, look at that bug.
I wouldn't say, oh my god, look at that bug. I'd say, oh shit, look at that. That's cool. 2 grasshoppers fucking. I got that picture.
You use your phone though.
You were saying, oh my god.
That's all. I would run it through. It's pretty good,
clear
dude.
As hell.
It was good.
Like, okay.
And it was fucking run it through Snapseed and fucking it looks good. I thought, especially for the platform. Yeah. Maybe it doesn't look good blown up. I've never tried that, but my my wife's cousin, I guess my cousin as well. She made me a bunch of coasters for Christmas with pictures that I posted on Instagram. It was a really thoughtful, cool gift. Even though she's trying to start her own militia and she loves Jesus, it was a very thoughtful gift.
What's wrong with loving Jesus?
Nothing.
She trying to start her own militia.
She tried to.
Oh, tried to?
She tried to. Facebook shut her down.
Like the metal militia?
No, like a fucking we're overtaking the government militia.
God, come on, remember the metal militia? Oh, you're not a sports, so that was like X Games. It was like something Dugan, like I think was like, and they were just like motocross guys that were doing like all the backflips and shit.
No, this was let's get our guns on the weekends and go run in the woods like fucking weirdos. Sorry if you're listening to this, Sherry.
No, they out there.
Let's head down to the Capitol in January type of deal.
She wanted to, dude. Trust me, she was gonna be right there. But they shut her Facebook page down and crushed her dreams.
But Trump, they shut all his stuff down. Y'all think that's funny though? How can they shut down the president?
It's just like right now they're trying to like these stories about. I'm gonna say it. You ready? Joe Rogan.
Look, here it is.
This is a crazy time seeing actual, not that I see it because I don't watch the news, but I'll see clips of news reporters saying the craziest shit about a person that I've been following for years now, like seeing him sitting in his extra room talking with his buddies, just bullshitting just right off the top of his head, smoking tons of weed, drinking, saying hilarious shit. Just a regular guy, you know, maybe not a regular guy. He was still on a TV show and still had tons of money. So fair enough. But he was bringing on people that weren't rich. He was bringing on his friends that were like struggling comedians and shit. Regular dudes saying regular crazy shit. Right. To today, where he's interviewing some of the most influential people in the world, and the news, who nobody fucking watches the news. These characters or caricatures of news personalities are like saying that it's dangerous and we should ban it, or we should what should we do with this? Like, stop it from happening? Like, this is the internet. This is pure freedom at its best, where you can say anything you want. And they're like, you know, it's dangerous. We shouldn't have people saying anything they want.
But it
is dangerous, because if all those people are paying attention to Joe Rogan, they're not watching CNN and Fox News. So obviously he needs to get shut down so they can get them viewers back.
No, I can see their point of view for sure.
But I felt, that's what I was saying. Like, but he going against they only doing that because he going against what they want him to talk about.
No, yeah, it's crazy. Like, I didn't think it was this bad in this country. I never thought. Look, the news has never been kind to people that are free thinkers. Like, they were always back in the stories of like dangerous drugs. Like, weed's dangerous. You'd see commercials of how dangerous weed is, like that commercial of like a dude coming out of a weed cocoon, fucking like 20 years later, like, where'd my life go? Like, dude.
Did you ever watch Reefer Madness?
No.
Oh, dude,
but
it's worth a watch.
Well, it's just that perpetuated in today's standards, and it's just like, well, so you guys lied to us about Reefer Madness. And it's not them. It's just they're getting a report that tells them to read this prompter to say weed is bad or drugs are bad. Meanwhile, when they're out on the weekends, they're fucking sniffing cocaine like there's no tomorrow, for sure. And
it was the 80s. Who wasn't?
Yeah, I guess. But like, so you have these talking heads that are telling us, that are guiding the public in the way the public should act. Whereas they're not acting that way. The people that run shit aren't acting that way. I understand why maybe they think they need to do that, but nobody likes being lied to. Nobody likes being told what to do when somebody else is doing something opposite. That's the fastest way you'll get people to rebel against you.
Exactly. And I feel like, but I do feel like I just feel like there's a reason that they coming for him. Like, this stuff didn't, like, he ain't just say this stuff yesterday. Of course, he did say he did say when he was talking about Michael Eric Dyson, that was like the most recent. But
which one's Michael Eric Dyson?
That's when they first came out, when they was saying like when he was saying he not really black, like saying the color wise, like he not black because he the same complexion as me and you.
Oh, what they were talking with Jordan Peterson? I listened to half that podcast.
Yeah, they was talking about Michael Eric Dyson though.
I don't know who that is, but he's just a light-skinned dude.
He's light-skinned, so they was trying. He was like, he's not even really black, and people's because they get it misconstrued. Like, we're not actually. Yeah, sorry about that. But we're not actually like.
I'm
black.
no mathematician either.
Like, we're not actually white. We're not actually black.
We know.
That's what they saying. But black for us is like our culture. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why. That's where he messed up.
Yeah, you don't gotta tell me. Tell Kev.
I mean, is our culture like we're not actually like black and white? You know what I mean? Like, but to say somebody not black.
See, I did watch that clip.
I think that's all like when you look. It's tough to see that because that's where it's being literal. Like, to say like no, like as far as like black people aren't black. Like, mostly it's like people are brown skinned.
Right.
And it's like light or dark or however it goes. But to say like white or black, it's like, well, I'm not white. Like, I'm white. Like, I'm Irish as fuck. But like,
no, but you're not literally like
Italian people are like, yeah, like I'm not like literally white. Just like other people, like not literally black. So it's to say like, and you get into like, I'm saying like a bunch, but with Jordan Peterson,
I'll cut it out.
Make me sound smart, Stan.
Well, that's hard, but go ahead.
But you get these like academics like this Jordan Peterson who is looking at these and going, oh, well, literally these people aren't white or these people aren't black. So like, why would you? And it's like, no, but now you're just taking a zoomed in focus on this thing, and you're missing the cultural aspect, and you're missing all this wider array of what goes into it. And just to say, well, they're not black or white, then you're just sounding stupid, in my opinion, because you're missing the point entirely to be like, well, literally, it's not actually like that.
That's a real white Canadian guy's take. First of all, Jordan Peterson, like he's doing his thing. Like you can listen to some of his shit. Definitely clean. Excuse me. Definitely clean your room. For sure. Definitely listen to some of the things he's saying. But just because somebody has a really, really good point on one thing, just like Rogan, like I don't agree with everything Rogan says. Most of it. Most of it.
Simp. Look, you're such a simp.
I wouldn't like Jordan Peterson when I hear him talking and he's about to cry about something. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy needs to fucking check his emotions. Like he's so emotional about things. Doesn't mean he's not wrong about some points, but you don't have to take the guy's word as gospel. That's what everybody tells you about. That's why that's shit's in the Bible. Like, don't idolize people. Somebody can have a great idea about something. They could have a fucking poor idea about something else. Make your own opinions based on all the people and information you take in. But you could also have a really bad opinion on something. I think that's what everybody doesn't realize, and everybody, especially the news, would never even consider. They try to peg you as one idea all the time.
And that's why
they don't like Joe Rogan.
That's why I think CNN is really attacking them like they was attacking Trump.
Well, he's literally called all of them out and said they're all liars and they're not good at their job.
No, because he was fighting. He was fighting back, especially when they tried to like they tried to lie and say he
shit,
horse. Yeah, they tried to lie.
Taking a horse dewormer.
Yeah.
And then he actually brought the guy from CNN on his show.
Gupta.
And was like, why are they saying these lies?
He said, why are they lying? He's like, I don't know, and I don't think it's good. So he's got to go back with his tail between his legs to his own network and be like...
Now they got to fight back.
Yeah.
So they said, all my producers, everybody, we need y'all. Yeah. So they cut and paste every little piece. Anytime he said, if he even said, put that together. Absolutely. They cut it up because they know like when black people stop fucking with people, it's like...
You mean to tell me that when Hillary Clinton...
when black people stop, like, when they cancel you, like, it's like, it might not affect, I don't know. It will affect, Joe.
That's a big market share. Like, you're losing a lot of, like, listeners, viewers, whatever.
You mean to tell me when Hillary Clinton pulled out that hot sauce on fucking Charlene's show, that wasn't, oh, you know what? She is one of us. Even all those years and years when she was locking us up, like her, literally, and then when she was making the laws that locked us up, it's all forgiven now because she has hot sauce in her purse.
They kidnapped them kids from Haiti.
Fucking embarrassing, dude.
But what type of hot sauce?
I think it was Louisiana hot, right?
And I said, damn, because remember the
not Frank's. She didn't throw
maybe it was Frank's.
She didn't throw that shit on everything.
Like a month ago, they were saying Drake poured hot sauce in the condom.
Oh, that's a wild story.
So I said, damn. I said, Hillary not the only one with hot sauce.
Yeah, he's Canadian though, dude. Like you guys can't claim him. Like nobody. Like that's Canadian. Like, keep him north of the border.
That whole story is wild. Where that girl came out and tried to be like, he's such an asshole. It's like, you were the asshole trying to like get one over.
Impregnate yourself.
You got what you deserve for that one.
Yeah, that's a wild story. Who knows if that's true? Like, so when you look back at history,
I mean, think about it. Either that's true, where I guess the background of the story is Drake bangs this girl, has a condom on. When he's done, he goes to the bathroom, takes the condom off, pours hot sauce in it, ties it up, throws it out. This girl fishes it out of the trash, opens it up to pour into herself to like try to have Drake's baby, and then complain.
Still a baby, basically.
Yeah, then starts complaining that it's burning and it's all it's fucking her up. So either that story is true, which is just a wild fucking story, or the other side of it is Drake did it himself and just poured hot sauce in her, which is just as wild of a story.
Right.
Yeah.
Like she let him play with the hot sauce.
Like, damn. Right? Yo, I heard of ice cubes and ice cream and syrup, but not fucking hot sauce.
So, like, I don't know. Like, it's pretty fucked up either way, but it's not like it's like, oh, it's clearly a lie on this side or clearly a lie on that side.
Right.
True. But
what do y'all think, like, what y'all think about the news today, though? You know what I'm saying?
Don't watch that shit. What you talking
I don't watch a lot of it.
It's
I'll check, like, I like looking at headlines, but I'll check, you see, like, CNN, NBC, ABC, whatever, like, see some of that, and then it's like, all right, saw
Something
that.
happened.
Go to Fox, see what their headlines are on it.
You gotta
and
serve.
So yeah, I like, and I don't read a lot of the articles, but I like seeing like how is it being portrayed from all these different angles.
But also, I think our generation specifically has a good handle on like, oh, I know why they said this. This is an article to make you click on it, and I think we're savvy enough where we've seen it evolve, where we're like, oh, that's a stupid. Have you guys been on? For instance, this leads me to like Snapchat. Like, I think it's the dumbest app ever. Checked it out a few times. When you look at the things you can look at, it's the most outrageous thing that you could think of. It's mostly hot chicks, at least in mine. And like, you click on it and it's like ad, and then it's like half the story of the hot chick that you clicked on to see, and then another ad, and then it's not the thing you even clicked on it to see. So it's like, it's just ads. They're just farming ads to you with a hot chick or a thing that they think you might want to see, something outrageous, this or that, star. So like, that's, I think, what kids are getting indoctrinated with. But maybe my hope is that kids are so savvy to it where they're like, oh yeah, this is all make-believe or fake. They're just trying to get me to look at it.
I mean,
I hope.
But that's what would happen eventually. But, you know, when I was young, like, coming up, like, you automatically, like, as black, like, you automatically born into, like, the Democratic. You know what I'm saying? Like, you born to be a Democrat. Yeah. It's like, and now that I'm older, and you sitting there thinking, it's like, damn. Like, of course it's gonna happen when you're older, but what if it's too late? Like, when you're young, they already got you drilled in. Like, with the news, like, it disgusts me because it's like, y'all really be like going back and forth with each other instead of just reporting the news. We don't care about, like, sometimes it's cool to tell us how you feel, but like when you telling us how you feel and we gotta feel the way that you feel.
Wasn't
like,
that always the trope?
Well, and that's what you're saying, I think, is, not to say what you're saying, but
go ahead, mansplain it.
But what I'm kind of thinking is maybe we were young, but I think we can remember a time when the news wasn't, this is the news from the left and this is the news from the right, whereas like this is just the news, where you get people today, and especially like if younger kids are watching the news, which if you're a kid, don't.
Yeah, you're not, for sure.
But like if they are, they're not steering the straight facts of anything.
If you was a kid, right, at this day, if you was a kid and you seeing CNN today, well, when Trump was in office, you would be like, Trump is like the imagine devil. If you could, you would think he was like, you would think that, like, but on Fox, you would see, like, if you watching Fox, it could be like they defend Trump a little more. Now it's like, it's flipped over.
And if
now
you live
Fox
where
is
only Fox is on your, in your house, you only see that one side.
Yeah, you're gonna have those views until you get older, and then you gotta treat it like you know how they go find gold. Like, it's like you gotta filter it.
You gotta filter it out,
but sift it out.
And people be thinking I'm so crazy when I be like, when I see certain stuff, like, you see it, like it's like a
because you're not taking the line, like, so they tell you, you're basically saying, like, they're telling you how to feel about a scenario, and you're like, all right, let me see the scenario. You feel it out, and you're like, hold on, I think you guys got it wrong, and then you go tell people, like, hey, I think that scenario, whatever it might be, I think it's like a little
Trump lover.
Yeah, it's I think it's a little bit different than what you guys are hearing, and they're just like they don't want. Not everybody wants to think about everything
because they be thinking, they be like, you just a conspiracy theorist, and I'm like, you really just gonna believe everything that they regurgitate to you? Like, you don't use your mind and be like, maybe they saying that because they want you to believe this.
Yeah, because I feel like when we were growing up, it was. So Republicans were the bad guys because they were against, like, they were against everything fun, everything cool. They were against diversity. They were against video games. They were against, like, drugs. They were against fucking gays. They were against anything different. They wanted the nuclear family of, like, white people. That's what they were about. At least that's what I feel like they were pushing. And it would be, in our time, it'd be like Marilyn Manson or, any Fred Durst that came along, or like any counterculture thing was, and gays are cool, like not cool, but like we don't care. Growing up, we didn't give a shit about gay people. They're cool. They're all right. Some of them are. I mean, every group has assholes, but for the most part, I don't care. I never found a reason to care who somebody was fucking.
I don't think
or wanted to fuck.
Like, I don't think, at least for me personally, that's ever been a question I've ever asked anybody.
Never, not once.
Like, if I'm meeting somebody for the first time, that's never something that's ever been a concern of mine. Of, oh, you straight? You gay?
Yeah.
Like,
but
we're not going to hang out with you.
The
if you
only
are.
thing that, like, when you a kid, like, you don't know.
Yeah.
Depending, but if you see a guy like, oh, that's a guy. Why is he wearing a dress? Like, hold up.
Yeah.
That's gonna make you ask questions like, hold up, why are you wearing a dress? Like,
For sure, especially when you're kids.
now it's
all say
now
weird
it's a
shit.
little normal, but back then when we was kids, if you seen a guy in a dress, it's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like, what is he wearing?
Well, and that's a time changing thing. I think more along the lines of like making laws and rules against people to do whatever they want has always been a thing of like, why would they want to do that? You know, of course, when we're kids growing up, like, yeah, like probably definitely said some or did some things that you're not proud of or whatever. And, you know, we still might use some words where it's like if somebody was gay and they're around us, they'd be like, hey, can you not say that? Like, I've definitely had that conversation. And it's like, look, I'll say whatever I want, but since you're around, I'll definitely take your opinion and how it makes you feel into consideration for sure, and definitely not use it around you for sure.
Or don't come like, cause for real, like my group of, like, you got to be able to take jokes. If you can't take jokes, you can't hang around.
Yeah,
us.
ribbings is, especially with our attitudes and like laid backness, like, and our sarcasm. Like, first of all, if anything can make you a target, not maliciously, I'm gonna say it. Like, if people see me like, oh, you're gonna have another cookie or another cake. I should be able, if I'm gonna say something to make fun of somebody else, I should be able to take any fat jokes. I should be able to take any jokes whatsoever. But I would, because I know you're not maliciously attacking me. If you were, then we would just have to fight or not talk to each other.
But even if it was, like, you gotta be, like, even if they was coming at you bad, you like coming up in my schools and stuff. Like, if you couldn't joke, you was gonna be the one that
you're gonna get picked on.
Or if everybody laughing at me,
that's where the jokes are going.
Say if somebody throw a joke on me and everybody laughing at me, and then the person that can't joke is laughing, it's like, what are you laughing at? You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's like, all right, so somebody's gonna fucking fuck with you about your shoes. And if you take that to heart and you really care about their joke on your shoes, everybody's going to fucking make fun of you about your shoes. So either you say, you know, fucking whatever, then that makes you not a target. Some people don't know how to not be targets. Some people are just weak links.
Right.
That's why no matter what group they float through, people kind of, you could say alpha or beta or whatever you want to use. Some people are just targets in life until they find their own, hopefully. But you know, some people are just targets always.
Right. There's always that one.
They're just a weak. Maybe they're not the fastest at comebacks. Maybe they take things too seriously.
That's more of like insecurities. Like
insecure.
If you're insecure about something and you can't, like, you haven't gotten over the fact that makes you insecure. If somebody makes fun of you for, like, I got made fun of. My grandpa used to make fun of me for having a big nose.
Stupid mustache. Oh,
no, I didn't have a.
Sorry.
Well,
I thought that's where you were going.
Ouch! No. I mean, he died, and now he never saw the mustache. So thanks.
He would have been proud.
Thanks
He
for
would have
that,
been
Stan,
so
you
proud.
fucking asshole.
He had a great mustache.
He did. But like he literally was like, Kevin's the only person I know that can smoke a cigar in the shower. He said this to me. I was like, God damn, Grandpa, like, fucking hurts. Like, I can't change my nose.
I thought that was a positive.
But it's something that
you have a nice umbrella. Okay.
But it's like, I had you really had to think through that. Oh man, God damn. Stan.
But that probably helped. But it helped you though.
But yeah, exactly. Like, I was joked about it to be like, oh man, you guys are making fun of me for my grandpa's meaner than you guys. Like, I can deal with this.
Yeah, he hits you up. He builds your thing. Like, build your walls.
Or you throw a shot at yourself like, yeah, I got this wrong with me, but look at you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, damn, he don't care. He don't even care about.
It's Eminem at the end of White Mile making fun of himself.
White Mile, it's 8 Mile.
8 Mile. White Mile did
but anyway, I was just gonna say that is the impetus. Go ahead.
No.
Well, it's
you keep going. I'll think of it.
All right. Anyway, it's the main story is like, I'm gonna say everything you can say about me first. Let you know I don't give a fuck. So then you can't make fun of me. And I think honestly, you know, maybe going to Coatesville, being around a bunch of black people, like maybe that is where I get such a hardened personality of like, you can say whatever you want. Like in 5th grade, they made fun of my shoes, like Bobos. I remember that shit. Didn't matter to me at all. But the kids that took it to heart or took, really hurt them, they might have something against it. It's like, look, first of all, fucking mostly everybody was fucking poor except for the rich kids. So like, you guys are making up, like growing up like that, you're making up for being poor by trying to point out other people's differences. So I mean, I think that's a good thing with being such a mixed school, or like you don't fit in with the rich white kids, but you can kind of click with like the poorer black kids. That's just the way it happened for me anyway.
Right.
Kev, no black kids in your school?
No, there's plenty.
Plenty. His name was Jamal.
No, it was a good, like, we had, I think Abington is in 2008 when Obama was running for president, he came to visit our high school and like did a tour from our township, because Abington has the same like demographic breakdown as the country. So like however, like whatever the percentage of like black people in America in the Abington township, there's like the same, the percentages all break down the same. So like a lot of presidential candidates and stuff stop by our area to be like, oh, if I do well here, it's kind of indicative of how the country is as a whole. So no, it's not like there were 2 black kids in my class.
4, 6, 8.
How many kids are?
It was like 50-50 at my school, probably.
Well, I would say, but how many kids are in a classroom in Coatesville? Like
30.
8?
30.
Oh, okay.
It's a bad school district. I'm sorry, Coatesville. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like Philly.
Well, probably nothing compared. I would imagine that the schools are way worse in Philly. Like, at least you had a reprieve. Like, they're going their way. Like, you're going to your buses.
Yeah, because that's like Coatesville, like a county outside, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Like,
most of the counties outside, like most of the big city schools is like terrible. It's crazy, even if you think about the way how they set it up. Like I was watching this video, they was saying like they was talking about all the major cities being like democratic cities and stuff like that, and all the stuff that go on in those democratic cities, like as far as like the public housing and the Section 8s, and like mainly all the big cities is like all hoods, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
no, it's exactly what they say about Baltimore and why it's the reason it is like you stick all the poor people and then in one area, and then you impose the laws that mostly only affect those poor people. Those mostly poor people are going to be black people. So yeah, we could say like definitely institutional racism for major cities, because we stuck all the black people in an area, and then we inflicted the harshest laws on those black people to destroy their families.
And then
was it planned? I guess you could say yeah, intentionally. Probably most of the time, yeah. Like I think we could all come to that conclusion, but also while saying that, I can't apologize for me being white where I grew up, but I can recognize where other rich, influential people, probably mostly white, did those things for sure. Right. And I think that's the disconnect that most people have when they're told something like that, if they're white, and they're like, well, no, I mean, I didn't do that to you. Mm-hmm. But you can separate those two things of like, those people did do that. That scenario did happen, right?
And what's crazy is that on both sides of the spectrum with white or black, there are white people in counties and high schools, like school districts, where they go all the way through high school and they've never like met a black person, and there are like black people that go to school as they go through their whole school and they've never met like a white person.
Or white people in shithole areas like the Appalachian Trail, like they got the same thing done to them, except for they were mining coal. Like the rich people that were stealing from them put them all in one area, made them the workers, and destroyed their families with the opium and the opium laws and all that shit.
That's all meth out in them
places. Meth, whatever you want to call it, drugs.
Yeah, and it's like, because they just put an Amazon in my neighborhood, so it's like I was just arguing with my friends in the group chat. They were saying that it's gonna bring jobs, and I was like, okay, it will bring jobs, but for who? Like,
are they going to go get jobs at Amazon where they're running around with no bathroom breaks and like all that kind of shit?
Even that, but they were saying they going like that's that's the pitch all the time. Like it's gonna be jobs, but okay, it's easy. Like for one, nobody really stays at Amazon for too long. I heard it's like really backbreaking work. It's for the young. So it's like y'all moving to Amazon around there. Y'all gonna be making billions. Same thing with the train tracks. All that stuff y'all pushing through our neighborhoods and our schools can't. The schools
There's no
can't
future.
be nice.
You're talking about
It's the same people are benefiting with billions of dollars, where the neighborhood that they're putting, like your neighborhood, is that what percentage of that billions is going to come back to the neighborhood actually?
None. And then what they say is, oh, we're gonna give jobs, but I know once it get up and running, everything in that area, in that radius, probably is gonna go up in numbers.
And it's going to take out all the mom and pop places.
And all the people that used to live, all the people that lived around there, they won't be around there for long. So I'm like, it's easy to say, oh, they're gonna put jobs there. It's gonna be 1 million jobs. That's gonna be people coming from like, or at least the important jobs. Important jobs is not going to be people in the neighborhood.
No.
The people that's really getting paid.
like, I'm no economist or anything. I'm sure there's people that can figure this out. But like, so you're talking about like one gigantic corporation coming in. They'll give a ton of jobs, but then they'll have all the leverage. So it's like, yeah, you'll be getting paid $15 an hour. But what if wages throughout the country raise? $15 an hour won't be jack shit.
It's nothing.
But everybody is tied to you now. Like, everybody has to work there
or
move out.
Exactly. It's because all the mom and pop places, all these small shops get put out of business because they can't handle the same prices that Amazon can.
And small business is the backbone of this country.
So now Amazon is your only option, or you have to leave. And now Amazon is saying, we're going to pay you this, but you only get, there's no overtime and there's no bathroom breaks.
And we can bring down your hours. We control how you live.
And it's your only option. So now you have to sit there and go, well, I guess it's either move or work for Amazon and deal with all the bullshit.
And that's what we're doing as a country. That's what we did with China. All these people like Joe Biden and the Clintons, they contracted American jobs to slave wages throughout the world, which is probably good for those people that were making nothing that now make $1 a day. But we fucked everybody over altogether.
What is it doing with the country, though, too? Because it's like...
It's making us slaves to giant corporations.
In no other countries...
Not to compare us to slaves. Sorry.
I know what you mean, though. But it's like no other country... Like, they don't come and get... What do they get from us? Because it seems like we buy
so it's all very one way.
I think our biggest export is culture.
Yeah, but culture isn't making the money back to like it's not
culture. You can't put a price
economically. It's not. You could say
ideas, art,
but you can't really put numbers on
culturally. That doesn't bring any money into our economy.
Like they can't buy. Let me get 20,000 pounds of culture over here.
Well, no, but it does export our extravagant living, which like you see in other countries where.
But the things that are
probably our worst aspect.
But the things that are being bought in that extravagant living aren't made here, so it's not helping.
Not making us money as a country.
No, I agree with that.
You could say like, oh, Jordans are like the number one thing everybody else in the world wants, and that's like super American thing is like the Jordan sneakers.
They should have been made here.
So if that's like the quintessential American export. Well, America's not seeing any money because the Jordan factory isn't in America.
No,
like
true.
Our cars is shit.
American cars that the rest
not
of the
Ford
world,
trucks where they're mostly parted around the world.
Yeah, but the rest of the world doesn't want like these American cars.
They don't mess with American cars.
No, they don't.
Like we don't have nothing. Like how we going retain or remain like one of those countries?
No.
Well, I guess now I can see why we bullying shit.
Well, also you can see why the elite, the 1%, they don't have a nation. Like they can move wherever the shit's popping. It's just like in the United States where it's like shit's awesome in California. All the rich people are going to have a house in California. Mm-hmm. If it goes to shit and people are shitting in the streets, we'll go to wherever the new spot is.
Right. And it's like with the news, you'd be like
they would never talk about anything like this because these ideas are so broad and big.
But they drop.
Yeah, tune into the Express Lane for hard-hitting info like this.
They drop
the
stuff.
The news won't touch us. Come at us, CNN.
Like they tell them, like you see how all this people be like people that they think that I'm tripping. So
closer to Mike.
All right, they think that I'm tripping when I say this. All right, so during like now they saying that all of like the food is empty. It's hard to get stuff.
Do you see that for yourself?
Not really empty, but I see prices going up. And people
Inflation.
like eventually the prices are going to go down. But now they paying minimum wage is $15 an hour now. There's no way stuff is going back down. I think it's there.
It can't.
It's stuck.
If you not being a smart person, if I think about the way things, so these corporations have raised their prices for things. They're never going to be like, well, we'll back our prices back down. Their bottom line, their whole thing is to make more money.
You get people used to paying this price, and you say, like, supply and demand is so crazy, so we have to up our prices because the supply chain is costing us more. But now the prices are up a level, and you go, oh, well, if we raised it 10%, if we raise it 15%, and we have this thing to blame it on, now we're making that extra 5%.
We're never going to go back down.
It's not going to go down because people are already paying for this.
And that's how they keep you. That's how they keep you. Like, they be like, oh, we gave y'all $15 an hour, but y'all just still.
Yeah, if everything moves up one level, then we're still at the same level. That's what people don't reckon. And maybe that is true, what people always said about raising the wages. Maybe that is true, what I guess they would call a Republican person or whatever. They said, like, if you raise people's wages, inflation will come. Is that what happened? Like, you know what I mean? I'm asking a question. Like, is that what happened?
Yeah.
But
Like,
the minimum wage right now is in Pennsylvania, at least, I think it's still $7.25. Like, it's not like maybe the average wage of what people are paying has gone up.
Well, I'm
but
thinking
to
about,
say
like
the minimum legally hasn't actually changed.
No, I agree with that. But legally, like, people have always been paying, generally speaking, more than minimum wage. At the very least.
But you get like, and yeah, it's not tab, but it's the quintessential thing is like, oh, McDonald's workers want $15 an hour, where, in my opinion,
it used to be a lot when you think about it. $15. I remember getting a
sure.
good job for $11 an hour. It's just fucking shit.
Yeah, I was
warehouse,
making,
but
in high school I was working at a Modell's making minimum wage $7.25, and then my buddy was like, "Yo, come wash dishes at this country club with me for $9.25." I was like, "Fuck it, all right, I'm out. $2 extra, like I'll go wash dishes."
But that was a good amount of money back then.
when you,
now we're looking at
that was
15
only
years
good
ago.
when you was a kid, though.
Yeah,
well,
you got
I had
bills
no
and stuff,
bills
it's
or
like,
nothing. Yeah,
whoa! But people actually getting how much you said minimum wage was?
$7.25. Like people are really. That's,
and I remember I worked at McDonald's for like 2 days. The first day I was downstairs on the computer the whole time. The second day they brought me up to work, and I'm thinking I'm doing $7.25 worth of speed. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a good speed to me.
You're paying me for this amount of work.
So the guy comes up to me like, yo, you need to speed it up a little more. So I was like, all right, let me turn it up. I'm thinking I'm going to the max. He came back again like, yo, we need you to. I was like, sorry, this ain't, it's not for me. My mom said, what happened to McDonald's? I said, they never called me back. I had to get out of there.
So
like
you gave him like a F you, I'm out of here.
I quit. He's like, where you going? I was like, I'm done. I ain't even go downstairs and get my sneakers that I had downstairs. I just left.
So, was that satisfying? I've never like quit a job like that.
I mean, it felt good to me, you know.
No, that's just like I've always like.
First of all, y'all paying me $70.25, and then y'all telling me I'm moving slow.
Yeah, but I've always like, well, the one time I got fired, and that was like, hey man, if I was gonna get fired when I walked in for my shift, you should have just told me then instead of made me work for a couple hours and then tell me I'm fired. But every other, like, I'd quit a job, but I knew that like Stan was working at
he could get you right.
Yeah, Stan was working at a country club and was like, yo, we're still hiring.
You'd have
like I had like either a job lined up or
Yeah.
a hookup to be like, I'm not just not making money for the time being.
But I always I quit a lot of jobs, but every time I always know I'm gonna get better.
Something else, yeah.
I'm gonna do better because I know it's plenty of jobs. I just need to get the interview.
Dude, especially
Yeah.
right now. Like, how crazy is it right now?
Even
High-paying
before
jobs.
even before, like, if I get the interview, I got the job. Like,
Yeah,
pretty
you just
much.
get in and get
Like,
to
just let me
explain
talk to the person.
Pretending to be a competent person.
Yeah, I have my notebooks and all, writing questions. They like, oh, nobody never asks questions. You know what I mean? Oh, I got that. I'm ready. But yeah, that's.
Yeah, but
But that's the dream, though. Really, is to just like give a big F you, I quit.
yeah, man.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, when you get older,
It starts to get scary, right?
Cause it's like you start to think more like about saving, your family.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I'll still like it's just in me. Like I just can't let if I feel like I don't know if I feel like
nowadays
like
stagnant.
I'm gonna use kind of had in my head that I was going to quit, but when I forgot his name,
Ryan.
Yeah, when he came up to me like trying to I felt like he was trying to.
He gave you the ultimatum. Yeah, he was.
Like, you taking this box. I felt disrespected.
The thing was, all right, so what you're trying to do is push back. And he was like, there ain't no pushback, bitch. Either take this box or go to fuck home.
Right.
He didn't know you was ready to go fuck
home.
For
the shits. You going to do it then. You know what I mean? So it was like.
Yeah, I probably did it.
But it was. Oh, you did it?
No, just
right,
fucking.
Right. No, but it was Nels. But I was looking at that time. I was looking for any excuse.
You got any excuse. You got to respect someone. Like, somebody that fucking dicks around and is like half in, half out, or waiting for that lawsuit or that to get what is it fucking when you get fired from a job
like severance,
unemployment.
When somebody's looking for that, like I think that's a lot different than somebody that's just like I'll go find something better.
Cause I could have. Well, I quit, so I could. Yeah, but I could have came back because it was like they said we're gonna give you another chance.
Yeah, there's.
And I just said, "Fuck it, I'm not going back."
Yeah, there's multiple chances with big companies so that you won't get sued. Right. But yeah,
I could have came back though, but I was.
Now you made your point. You couldn't roll back in there.
Yeah, but you had, like you said, you made up your mind. Really, I'm looking for an excuse.
Yep.
And that's the worst kind of person you want to. Yeah, especially on the man. Like you gotta watch for those people because if you say something like, "Damn, like." Wipe your shirt off. Like, what? Wipe my shirt off? I'm gone.
Fucking figure out these 100 stops. No, that's definitely. But also, like, you have bigger plans. Like, it's not like I don't got no other options besides talking shit on the internet. And that shit, who knows where that's going.
I ain't making money doing this.
No, but you got like a lot of people don't understand. Like I don't know with my life as far as. Whenever I left a job, I always got more at the next job. Like I might have, even when I was a kid, like I did the minimum wage for the city, but my mom got me into Franklin Institute where I was getting paid fairly good for like, I was only in like 10th grade.
Damn, what were you doing at Franklin Institute?
Washing dishes and
okay.
You know what I mean? They put me on the sandwiches at one point. Like,
I
found my way around.
You're not setting up like the science projects or nothing. I love that place. I was
sleeping on.
You ever been to Franklin Institute recently?
Because
only once.
No,
oh, dude, it's
recently.
Yeah,
it's
used
great.
To go a lot.
You got like a kid. You got nieces and nephews. Like it's the best.
Because we was the cooks, so we had to be there first thing in the morning before everybody. So I used to be asleep, in the heart.
Yeah, we did set up. Yeah, the heart.
Yeah, as soon as you set up like your stuff, you cool. Like you got free range. I was letting people come in like, that's my folks. Let me get the tickets.
Awesome. Perk of
the job. I was
nice.
I was making like $9. I was only working on the weekends, but $9 was all right in the 10th grade. You know what I'm saying?
In 2000, fucking 2002. Yeah. What are some? So like, I feel like you kept going back to points of like how people like it's. I would say like you're not Republican, but you're flirting with other ideas other than what news is telling you. Like so when you go to your friends, like you say like, hey, there's this thing out there, like you guys are all saying this one thing, you're just repeating what somebody told you, like.
Yeah, like it's just me this was just me thinking, but I'm like, damn, do we really? Why can't we start a new party? It don't have to be like black and white. Like I'll go as far as saying a new young party.
This is something I've thought about a bunch too. Is where if America as a whole is the cultural melting pot of the world, where all these different people are coming together to live this new life. All these different people that believe different things come from different backgrounds. You get here, and now it's either one or two. It's left or right.
Pick a side.
Yeah, like there are like you should think, or at least I think, you should have more than two options of how to represent yourself in the government, or like how you want to be represented by your government officials. You either get this guy or you get this guy, and like they're so vastly on opposite sides. Why isn't there other options?
And it's like, as a kid, from seeing when you see it, it's like they just arguing. Like if you got this point, they gonna argue that point. If they got that point, they gonna argue.
Yeah.
This
What
point.
if the other side has a good idea one time?
Like,
you can't say that's a good idea.
Like yeah, at least be honest. Tell us what you think. So that's why I feel like we should start like a new. We should start like a new party or. Like, stop making the presidents so old. Like,
I agree with that.
Like, I could see why the boy Putin is doing whatever he want. Like, you looking at our leaders, like he could barely even stand up.
So what you're saying is like you're not feeling forced, but you're feeling like they automatically think they got you. So whatever they say, you got to repeat, even if you don't fully believe in it.
Yeah,
I feel like we
repeat.
at least have two options where it's like if you want to be in kind of polite society, you're a Democrat and you're like you got to go along with whatever they say. Even if they say you being a white man is the devil, you got to say like, yeah, we're sorry about everything we've ever done. Or your other option is to be a Trumper, which is just almost as bad because what are we going to form a militia and fucking do say terrible shit? Like,
Right.
well, most people are neither of those fucking things, and you're both lying out one side of your mouth. So there's a middle, and I totally agree with having a new party. Especially a party that has age limits, even though I don't think you can do that. OSHA laws.
Yeah, I don't think you like that's.
But
that's ageism right there, man.
Yeah, but when you can't stand up on your own,
Right.
I think maybe there should be a limit.
How could you find how could any other country respect that? Like, damn,
Dude,
they
don't
carry
respect
this
that
dude.
shit.
They gotta carry this dude tomorrow.
And also, can't we all agree like he's not running the show? Like
yeah,
when they talk about the swamp or they talk about the global elite, all we're talking about is other people that, because they're not getting elected every 4 years. These people that run shit, they're there. When the new president comes in, they say, hey, what's up? We've been running shit for a while now. Welcome to the show.
how you doing?
Yeah. So here's what you're going to say. Well, I didn't campaign on that. Yeah, we'll just delete it from your fucking web page that you had, like letting everybody
Or they
smoke
say-
weed.
Or they say they show you the video first.
Yeah, maybe.
They show you your
JFK,
video.
the real one.
No, they show you your video like
Oh,
of
yeah.
what you've been doing.
You've been fucking them
This-
underage
this
girls.
What you gonna go say?
You thought she was 18? Nah.
Remember they were like, remember Sherry? Remember Sharon?
Yep.
Remember her? Yeah, we got all that.
And your whole thing's based on family, right?
Well, anybody that's listening and now watching, because we got this video going, so
Yeah.
you think of a new third party name idea.
One more.
Hit us up in the comments.
Hold up, one more idea.
Go ahead, give it to us.
It's left part, but
Left field.
I mean, yeah, left field. Yeah.
Left field of
Sports.
the park.
Yeah, the green monster.
So
Actually, that is in left. That's
we need our reparations.
surprising.
So,
Oh, so
they were saying, all right, but would you be mad or would you feel some type of way if they did give out reparations in cash? Would you be mad about that or?
I mean,
our taxes going up?
I could give you thoughts about it, but really, my thought, like, as someone who wouldn't benefit from it and didn't suffer from it in the past,
Right.
my thoughts on it, I think, don't really matter. So I can tell you whatever, I can speak to you until I'm blue in the face, but you could look at me and go, yeah, okay.
No, because some
fuck
people.
your ideas.
No, because some people will be mad. Like some people, because
But I wouldn't be mad.
I don't know if this was the number. Not mad, but like
No, some people get
actually
like
feel some
offended.
type of
Like,
way.
why would you feel offended by that?
Like why should they like? I'm gonna just throw this number. I seen a video. They said that we should all get 350,000 a piece. And I'm thinking like, I feel like we should get some kind of payment. And a lot of people like, won't y'all go back to Africa, do this, do that? And it's like, maybe we would, but maybe we can't leave. Like maybe we're felons. Maybe
If
we
you
got
fucking took 350 to Africa, you could fucking start some shit over there.
exactly. So it's like, I feel like we should get reparations, and they should give everybody their passports, and you could pick and choose where you want to go.
That's a fair assessment. My only question would be too, because I feel like I think a normal person would be like, okay, so where's the money coming from? Giant corporations? Because
No.
I think we could get behind that.
I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, if you're gonna say
when
we're raising taxes on Amazon and Apple and shit like that,
but
yeah,
they would
but
eventually
money-
trickle down to us.
but the money, they find the money. Like remember?
Oh yeah, the money's fucking.
Because if you think about it,
the money's there. You fucking couple strokes on the keyboard, you make money happen.
when COVID hit, everybody was like, "There's no way people could get paid out And what happened? They
paid
gave people
everybody,
money. So
yeah.
it's like the money is there. It's just I think that's the fare that they got. Like if we get them $350, like who's to say that they won't go spend that $350 in Russia or whoever's going to accept
Well,
them?
you're not going to go to Russia. I don't think.
No, I'm just
really
but
like.
but I think that's
There's
just
not much diversity
that's
there.
just an example. It's that you're not guaranteed to spend that money here.
And that should be.
If you go
I
to
feel
Russia, Putin's taking that shit right from you.
Right, or Cuba or something.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like just because like it seemed like I feel like people do deserve it because it seemed like after like all right, they free slavery was over and it's like all right, go ahead. Like what? Like I made you billions and you just like all right, go ahead, or you could stay and I start paying you quarters on the dollar, and you could get paid your little quarters. But it's like all that work I put in for years, grandkids, kids. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Generational.
I done had 20. Who's to say like they said they was actually breeding people like. So who's to say somebody didn't have 20? You never know, like especially if they breeding people like dogs, like so it's like it is like y'all did the worst stuff, not y'all per se, but the country. They did the worst stuff to us and then was like, all right, y'all free now. Figure it out.
And you're right, where it's like these people that made all the money, you look at, I'm sure you track the family history and stuff, come down today, you get these billionaires that are running things from behind closed doors right now, where it's like, oh, well, you guys are still in charge and stuff hasn't changed for anybody. Like, it's still good for you and not so good for us.
Right. So you benefited, or some people would say like, I don't. That's why they say we shouldn't get it, because it's like I didn't have nothing to do with it, but my great great granddad did, and he left me all this stuff. It's not my fault that he did that, but it's like, fam, like the reason why you actually have all that stuff is because of what happened.
No, I can definitely see that idea of like, all right, so like I don't directly benefit, but you kind of do because you've had generations of freedom to make the decisions your family's lineage made.
Or whereas, not freedom, you had more so of a head start. Like it's like you could start not anybody per se. It's like it's like you being able to, all right, say if they just drop us off in the wilderness. It's like you just drop me with just a shirt, some clothes, and then the next person gets combat boot, water, supplies,
a shelter.
He get everything, but I got to just find all that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what they'll argue is like some people have done it because they're more resourceful. But that doesn't mean that you can just let that go and be like, well, some people can do it. Some people can make it through the fish maze, whatever you want to say.
And not even, my fault, sorry for getting
No, you're good.
But not even just a straight run on, all right, fix it up, do what y'all do. We gonna throw these laws in here. Like they locking people. Locking people up.
They're like, oh, you're free, but also don't violate.
Don't look over here.
Don't violate all these rules.
Don't whistle. You know what I'm saying? They had to worry about like, you know, looking at the person, the girl who, what's the guy name? They had dragged him. Damn, I'm mad. I'm forgetting his name. Like, they said that he had whistled at the lady.
They just fucked with black people for.
She wound up coming out. Like now she older now. She wound up coming out and saying she.
So just that story, that person's still alive.
Emmett Till.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So she wound up and said that she told lies, and then they did all that. And it's like, damn. But all right, so that's off topic. But even like, all right, so like, y'all locked us up. Y'all did all this stuff. Y'all made it so hard for us to even be like to say it was all right for us to even eat together. You know what I'm saying? They put all those obstacles in our way, and now that it happened so long ago, they be like, I seen the guy say, we don't have anything to do with that. That wasn't us. It was way before us, but it still happened, and we didn't get paid for it. You know what I'm saying?
So what I can see is like, all right, so you coming to talk about that with people, all, you know, we don't have anything to gain from it, which what you said, that's cool, but the way some people go about it, like fucking, who's the guy that's always on the Breakfast Club, fucking just,
Charlamagne?
No, not Charlamagne, but the other guy he brings on, that professor or the doctor, what the fuck is his name? Some people come at it like aggressive, like
Dr. Umar.
Yes. So if we don't automatically agree with you, like we're the enemy. Like no, dude. Like look, we're willing to talk about it left and right, but we can't do anything about it. You're gonna have to bring that to the next level.
Right.
So it's like So it's kind of a way to divide people to never get anything done. When you come at it aggressively like that, like fuck all white people or whatever, and or the way at least I feel like he does, and I think he's just a charlatan. Like honestly, from what I've seen about him, just from what I've seen, seems like he's a charlatan.
Umar?
Yeah, seems like charlatan.
No,
Seems like he's pocketing money.
He don't say fuck all white people.
No,
though.
not that. I'm just saying like when you come at it aggressive like that, it seems like it's automatically we're setting the terms. Like, and also like it's a preacher thing. Like preachers steal your money. Like no matter what you're preaching, when you live in a better house than everybody, you're stealing people's money off of an idea.
Right.
So nobody likes that shit. So I think that'll work towards never getting anything done. I think when you have more logical ideas of like, we did the work, nobody got paid for it. These corporations, companies, families made the money. Then I think we can all agree like, yeah, you know what? They are still rich to this day. Like, maybe you guys should pay the fuck up. Like, maybe there is a way to do it where it doesn't hurt everybody else, but it takes some of their wealth. You know, you talk about redistribution.
You start talking about like taking wealth from billionaires. Like, if you got $7 billion and you take $1 billion, you can split that up to a ton of people to help a lot of people, and you still have $6 billion. Like, is it really hurting you that bad at that point?
But also with every movement, just like they did, like for instance, with every black movement back in the day, there's always a way to tear it apart. Like, you know, you talk about the Panthers, they systematically tore that apart and made only the most extreme versions of it possible, which they're the ones everybody can point to now and be like, we don't want that. They were fucking just bombing people and killing people at random. Whereas the movement itself, probably the moderate movement, that would have worked. That would have been beneficial towards black people for the most part and everybody, because it would have helped everybody heal. But instead, they destroyed the center of that and only made the radicals the pillar of it.
I mean, well,
at least from what I see and what I've heard.
Because they had to radicalize them, though.
They had
in order to do what they did. Like, they had to make it seem like, all right, so if you just seeing a guy walk down the street, you know what I'm saying, and he's just a regular guy and somebody come up and punch him, we're going to be like, oh, man. But if they be like, yo, that dude, he a pedophile over there, and somebody going to punch him, they going to be like, oh, well. Like,
I ain't see shit.
You know what I'm saying? Right. It's like, let him get his ass whooped, but that's what they do.
It changes shit for
sure. So they tried to, like, they even put, like, it's like a lot of people say is conspiracy theorists, but they actually put radicals in. Yeah. They help them join, like, one of the guys who set up, what's the main guy at the Panther Party? When the cops, they came and shot the whole house up with kids in it. Huey Newton, I think. No,
they've done it with fucking religious leaders, too. Yeah. That'd be fucking...
They let the guy came in, infiltrated. They worked him up to security. You know what I'm saying? You know, you gotta build your way in. But this dude, he was about to, like, they was about to lock him up for like a drug offense, and in order for him not to go to jail. Now he want to talk about it now, but before you was in on it. Yeah. For him not to go to jail, he had to infiltrate the Black Panthers, and they get them to join, to do crazy shit, and then they could blame it on.
It's easy for him to talk about it now, but looking back on it, what an integral piece to the puzzle of where if he would have chose to do the right thing, maybe the wrong thing for him at the time, he could have been part of history in a different way.
Changed a lot.
But I mean, that's what governments. You can't just say the United States government. It's governments. It's people of power. The way that they stop movements is to infiltrate. It's like probably taught in classes in these FBI, the CIA. You infiltrate, then you get people hyped up to where we can only make change by killing civilians. Like that's the best way we'll do it. Then you necessarily don't have to have your guy do it. He can talk other fucking dumber people
when they're doing it,
that are just there. That
they only need one person to do one thing.
Exactly.
And then they could paint the picture from there.
Yeah, I agree.
That's smooth.
Damn. That's one of the things that disheartens me to any change whatsoever other than going with the flow of things. Because any movement that's good for the people will never succeed.
Tear it up. Even with the they said Black Wall Street, how they had a whole, like, I'm gonna say neighborhood now, but they had a whole neighborhood with doctors, lawyers, you know, people that do clothes, a whole community, dentists, everything, and they just bombed. They bombed,
destroyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
So it's like, damn, like, can you really build? Like, do you really want to be that person?
Is the
'Cause you
American
never
dream
know.
real? Because every time we've tried it before, they fucked us over.
They tear it up. Like,
Yeah.
It's something to think about.
And I guess we'll just go out on that sour
Damn.
note.
Yeah, well, a lot of stuff to think about. This is a good episode.
Well, the good thing about this is, so this is the 21st episode. Like, we can definitely reflect on these ideas and then build upon them next time we talk on the Expresslane Podcast.
Hell yeah.
let's
You're
get it.
welcome back whenever you want, Neo. You hit
Alright,
us up,
thanks.
we'll get you on.
Appreciate
Alright,
you being
bet.
so, like, just, yeah, let's do it this weekend. Like, oh, shit, I mean, all right, dude. Absolutely. Thank you again so much.
No problem, man. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, no, we're
Make sure y'all follow me.
Yep.
Yeah, hit it out.
Neo Ford on Instagram. Sophisticated Ignorance on Instagram. Sophisticated_ignorance. Instagram, TikTok. Hit me up.
All right, we still following your sister or what?
Yeah, man.
All right,
It's still
good.
love, man. Follow Gym Rats
All right,
at Gym Rats Athletics.
And we're Expresslane Podcast on all platforms.
all platforms.
Now on YouTube.
Expresslane 1 maybe on Twitter. I don't know.
I think
I'll
it is
post it.
Expresslane 1 on Twitter.
Whatever.
So,
Good to see us.
yeah, it was good to see you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That felt
Peace.
dirty. I didn't like that.
I'll never say it. Bye.